1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, besties. Welcome back to another episode of I Am Besties. I am your host, Vanessa, and I am here joined today with my beautiful friends, Steve, Brandon, and Jules. We are dressed up today, and this is me. I'm a firefighter. I know C+ for effort. It's like the most basic thing.
It's really cool. I have a ghost next to me.
Yeah.
I feel like this is more basic.
We played with the Ouija board right now.
Yeah.
We called upon him. He joined us.
Bro, it's pretty cool because we can voice over you and like we could add in that you're actually saying something else.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Edit out, mute him, and then add in like something cool that you say right now, like a fun fact.
I can't see you
Or
guys either,
something
really.
cool.
So.
Yeah.
You can't see us?
I can kind of see you, but
His
I don't know.
eyes keep moving.
My eyes
Yeah.
keep- so I have to go like this. Yeah, but yeah.
I'll pretend. I'll be your eyes for
Yeah,
you.
But
Thank
he's
you,
really
thank you.
here, guys. I know
I
it
am
looks
here,
like
yeah,
a real
yeah.
ghost,
Yeah.
but he's actually
So
a
you're-
person.
I like your little pillow, dude.
The Oogie Boogie.
Yeah, the Oogie Boogie. It's pretty
He's
cool.
my man today.
It's the spooky season. When does this come out?
On Wednesday soon.
When,
So not yet Halloween, but soon.
still, this
Yeah.
is the Halloween special. Sure.
Yeah. And to just get a little loose, we're gonna take a shot.
Yeah. Cheers. Follow along at
I
home.
feel like I haven't filmed in forever. I actually haven't filmed in like 2-3 weeks.
Brandon, I know you have. He actually
Yeah.
has one.
I
Yeah,
do have
he does
one.
actually
I
have
genuinely
one.
do
Yeah.
have one.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
All right, cheers.
I've never had this alcohol. Hopefully it's good.
Ah, fuck.
It's like water, right, guys? It tastes exactly like water. No flavor.
I don't know where I'm gonna put this shot glass, but whatever.
Just hold it, bro.
Just
How'd you like it, Vanessa?
Camarena tequila.
Bomb?
It's
That
not
face. That's the
good.
face of a satisfied customer.
No
It's
caritas.
the face of a bitch. Ah.
Bro.
So, what do you want to talk about, Vanessa? What's on the
Wait, Tracy, you want
agenda?
my coffee?
Oh, sorry. How's it?
Sorry, that just was not good. Do you guys ever just feel like alcohol tastes like rubbing alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's vodka for me.
Yeah, like you just smell it and it just does not smell good. I'm just like, am I drinking rubbing alcohol? Is there rubbing
Mhm.
alcohol in
Mm-hmm.
vodka and tequila?
No, bro, I don't think so,
I
right?
don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, because I think that shit would kill you.
Probably.
Really?
Yeah, I think
then
alcohol.
why
Like,
does it smell the same?
I think it's just the alcohol. It's just like that shit's just burning.
It's just alcohol.
Yeah, I think that's just what it is. Yeah, I mean,
That's just,
that's why I fuck with Asian culture because they drink soju
uh-huh.
because they get you get it too, right? Yellow. What is it called?
Whoa, damn.
Oh, my bad.
That's crazy.
Hey, edit that out. Edit
That's
that out.
crazy.
He's Mexican.
Asian glow.
That's
Asian
crazy.
glow.
It's-
Asian
yeah,
glow.
Asian glow. Yeah.
My bad, my bad. My fault, guys.
Y'all
I'm-
can't see
I'm
it right now.
disappointed.
That's
Yeah.
that's actually the only reason why he's wearing the bed sheet.
Mhm.
He doesn't want you guys to
Mhm,
see it.
Exactly.
So he wants another shot then.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Another one.
No, please, please.
Actually, you guys, I want to challenge myself today, and I am gonna take a shot every time I curse. So I'm gonna try to not curse because
Really?
I feel like I curse a lot, and I'm trying to not curse anymore.
Do you think it's a bad thing to curse?
No, but we get demonetized. and
Oh,
I wanna get
really?
paid. I want money.
Okay.
Ah.
Damn. Okay, I'll watch
I'm
it
trying
too.
to pay
Yeah.
my bills. No, we don't get super demonetized, but we've noticed that on episodes where we start and like maybe like the first 30 minutes without cursing, they
Mhm.
do better money wise than
Mhm.
ones that we are like.
That makes
cursing.
sense. Okay, good to know. Yeah, because I have the word of the three of us for sure. I'm the one on our show who curses the most.
Really?
Yeah,
I
so
feel like
I'll
you guys
watch it,
don't
yeah.
curse.
No, I mean I do for
I feel like that's
sure.
why I like
Stevie does it all the time.
Yeah,
Really?
I need
Maybe
to watch
someone
it.
paid
Yeah, I need to
attention
relax. I need to. You don't pay attention.
Dude, I'm always just like in my
That's
own
crazy.
head, just vibes, just
Yeah, deep thought.
associated.
Yeah.
No, I don't think cursing is bad. But I do feel like I don't want to say that it's ugly, but I'm trying not to because
Mm.
I want to sound more
Professional.
Professional.
Yeah, like I don't know. I want to be more like I want to stop saying like too.
Mm.
Yeah,
because I
for
say like
sure.
a lot all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And is it like a California thing to say like a lot? Because I can't. I feel like I can't control it.
It's like a buffer word. I know that like all those three words are used for when you are thinking but you still want to fill the room with noise. So you're like
So
but
does that
they-
mean like we're uncomfortable? Like
yeah.
to
It
be
usually
quiet, to be
usually
silent?
No, it's because like it's there. I did it. It's so that you can, it's so that your brain can catch up with your mouth or something like that. It's Steve's right.
I've heard because I took public speaking in college, and that's what they told us. They told us that if you ever feel like saying just take a pause. Like there's nothing wrong with pausing when you speak. A lot of professional speakers do that. It's just that we get nervous and we get anxious when it becomes quiet. So we try to fill the room with yeah, you know, like
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I do. I feel like lately, my brain hasn't been able to keep up with my mouth. So
Okay.
I feel like I've been stuttering a lot, and like it's like my brain is thinking like of a million things I want to say, but I can't get it out of my mouth fast enough.
Mhm.
So I've been like tripping over my words a lot, and I've been like, I don't know, I just been like,
You've been like-
even
like-
right now, I feel like I sound weird when I'm speaking. I've been having like this weird thing where I'm just like, dude, I've been really being observant of how I speak, and I
Mhm.
feel like I've been kind of like,
Have you ever heard of a? Oh, what were you say?
No, I was gonna be like, I feel I just said both of them. That I also have been going through that where like I stutter and I repeat the same words. So I say, oh, then and then I do that a lot.
Mhm.
I've been doing that a lot, and I don't know if it's because we just talk a lot.
Mm.
Yeah.
Where even when I talk to at work, it just sticks with me now. Where I like stutter
Mhm.
or like I can't think.
Yeah, I feel you, dude. But sometimes it fucks with me. Cause have you ever heard of code switching? Have you ever heard of code switching?
Yeah.
Have
yeah,
you?
I have.
I
But what does
have,
it mean
yeah.
again?
It's kind of like depending on who you're speaking to, you change the way you give like what inflection, the way
It's just
phrases,
the way you speak, like you'll change, like you know.
So if I'm talking to, let's say I'm in school and I'm talking to professor, I'm like, "Good morning, professor. How are you?" But if I'm
Oh.
talking to you guys, I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck, food?" Like,
Yeah.
oh, I cursed, my bad.
You were giving an example.
Take a shot. Take
No.
a shot. Take a shot.
I won't take a shot. I won't take a shot. But I think about that. I think about that. It's kind of weird because code switching implies that um, certain groups are like dumber. So that's why I've never minded cursing because I feel like cursing is a normal human emotion, and I feel like it shouldn't show that like, oh, you know, you're uneducated if you curse.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me just like reading
Yeah,
too
yeah.
into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also hard because for us, we speak two languages.
Mhm.
I think for me, it's always been hard to always speak in both languages because of the fact that like I grew up speaking Spanish and then I had to learn English because of school. But then I predominantly, every time I would go home, I would speak Spanish. So I would struggle with like even speaking in English, and I always felt like I had an accent in both. Like I could never perfect any of them because I learned both growing up. And so yeah, and so then I when I went to college, all I strictly spoke was English. So when I started talking to my parents, I started stuttering a lot in Spanish. Like I lost my Spanish ever since I went to college because I used to speak it pretty well.
You did, I remember.
And then now I like struggle so hard to like come up with like different phrases and like talking to my parents. But that's because like when I went to college, it was just mostly English, and here and there we do like Spanglish. So like I'd be saying some words to them in like Spanish, and then I remember I picked up a lot of like their lingo because they also talk differently in the Bay Area because I was in San Francisco. So they really, you learn a lot of like different like languages, like language styles basically.
Yeah.
And I think that really stuck with me, so that now when I do talk in English or like I'm at work, I usually feel like I'm just strictly like doing slang English. So it's weird, especially when I'm talking to my boyfriend's parents, because they're white and like they only speak English.
The way you say it, like you're ashamed, like I'm coming out right now.
Well, because for me, I feel very, I don't know what the word is. Like I feel very, not ashamed, but I feel very like weird when I say like, oh, like I've been chill or I've been cool. Like I say that to them, and I feel like that's not very like, I guess, proper. Like I feel like it just sounds really weird when I say that to them, and I don't think they look at me any differently. Like I think they're just like, that's just like how I talk. But I think it's because I've been so like close to all like my friends, and like that's just the way that I speak to them, that's how I speak to like them as like adults. But I feel like I kind of judge myself on that because I'm like, I don't want to be talking so much like that because it's not, I guess, professional, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, like grammatically correct.
Yeah. But I know that they're not like judging me on that either. Like I know that it's just like me being more self-critical about it.
Yeah, I know the one that Spanglish, like people who speak both languages do the most is I didn't do nothing. Like I didn't even do nothing.
Yeah.
Like that. It's anything, but people say nothing. I don't know. Language changes,
Me,
bro.
I'm like, oh. I just like, no, I know.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't speak both languages.
Dude, it's so funny that you bring up San Francisco because last night my Hugo's brother's visiting from San Francisco because he lives there,
Oh wow.
and it was late at night, and they were both rolling a joint and they were gonna smoke, and I was just there just chatting with him. I don't smoke, but I was just in the conversation. Oh my god, I'm cringing just thinking about it. I say it anyway because it's funny because Josh is his brother's name. He knew I was gonna film to him. He's like, you have to say that on the podcast tomorrow, and I was like, I asked him, I was like, so is San Francisco weed better than California weed? And he was just looked at me and he just started laughing, and I was like, oh fuck. And when he started laughing, I was like, oh shit, like San Francisco isn't fucking California, dude. Like I literally, I don't know why I always think that San Francisco is like its own state, and I've been corrected so many times, and I never sticks. Like I always feel like
Why?
I don't know. I
That's
have no
funny.
clue, and it's crazy because San Francisco is like a tiny city. It's not even like big enough to be like its own freaking state.
Mm.
But yeah, I always feel like
That's
it's
funny.
like it's not from here.
That happened to my friend when we were in San Francisco. It was me and like another high school friend, and we were on FaceTime with them with like a couple of friends that were so in LA. And then she was like, "What time is it over there?" She's like, "Is it really late over there? How many hours are you guys ahead of us?" And then my friend's like, "Bro," she's like, we're in the same fucking state."
Yeah.
She
Same
was
time
like,
zone.
Yeah.
so I guess it's just like it kind of just happens because
Mhm.
it's like super. I don't know if it's because it's far or something,
Mhm.
but I feel like I get why some
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
like would think that.
Yeah. No, and Josh was telling me that sometimes when he flies in, his friends will be like, dude, yeah, you're finally back in California. And he's like, I never left.
City
No.
kids, bro. It's because city kids never leave the city.
Yeah,
I don't know. And maybe I think it has to do with the fact that, like, when people say, like, the Bay, it kind of, and, like, the culture there, and, like, it's so different,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
that it just kind of feels like it's its own place. And in a way that, like, because I know LA obviously is California too, you know, and the IE is California too, but I don't feel that much of a distinction between LA and IE. I
Mhm.
feel like for the most part, it feels like the same to me. I know there's so
I
many
don't know, I
different.
don't
No,
know.
I know you're gonna go there. I know there's so many differences. I know, but I don't feel the same like distinction between like the IE. Like I just feel like San Francisco feels like more different, like
Mhm.
separate, like its own place.
Yeah.
I don't know why my brain does that.
No, I mean I can agree to that. Yeah, for sure. San Francisco is different from South California.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of hills and super cold too.
yeah.
So I can see that distinction for sure. But I wanted to ask you about something.
What?
I saw something on the internet called the Sassy Man Apocalypse.
Huh.
I wanted to talk. I wanted to ask these two women that I know. So what do you guys think? Thoughts on the Sassy Man
What is
Apocalypse?
that? I don't
So
know what
it's
that
it's
is.
basically saying like that a lot of men have become very, I guess, feminine in nature and have become like I
Sassy.
guess how like what how would you, Brandon, help me out, how would you describe it?
I don't know, like sassy, you know, like
Like sassy.
Well, okay,
I
'cause-
guess
Also,
the-
basically, it's saying that
the
men are
association
becoming sassy.
the association I have with it is like Drake. You know how people say Drake is like sassy?
Okay.
People say like men are becoming like super sassy. Like,
Like
Drake.
traditionally that women are the ones who are very, I guess, like feminine and emotionally like reactive, and they're saying that more men are becoming like that, where I remember seeing it on TikTok where it'll be like a man being like, oh, like how come I don't know, it'd be like a woman being like, oh, how come you don't come see me, and it's like, you know, you can come see me. It's like stuff like that.
Like man.
Yeah,
Oh,
like it's like,
or like that one guy that like goes like that
yeah,
to the
that
camera a lot.
guy.
What's
Yeah.
his name?
I don't know. I know we were talking about though.
But
Yeah.
he's like
Can't-
very sensitive to the
What do you
camera,
say?
and
Yeah.
he's
You
like,
can't. What does he say?
"It's the way you act."
Oh yes, the
Yeah,
way you act.
yeah, yeah.
No, honestly, like, it's gonna sound crazy, but I feel like, okay, I'm gonna put myself on blast here. I went on a date one time, and I don't think I told you guys about this date. It happened a long time ago. I went on a date with this guy, and he was cool. Like he checked a lot of boxes for me, and at the time I was really interested in like meeting a partner. But while we were having dinner, some of like his hand movements and certain phrases he would say would roll off the tongue like very sassy to me, and I completely caught me off guard because I had never. I know there are men out there that are metrosexual, you know, like they like to do their eyebrows and keep their hands clean and do things that are considered like more feminine. Um, but I never like, I guess, got on a date with a man like that. And I could tell from the moment I met him that like his eyebrows were very clean and like, you know, little things like that. And then when we were at dinner, we were just talking, and it was kind of odd to me because he was speaking like okay, like manly, quote unquote, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
like he was like a man. And then out of nowhere, it's like almost like he would let his like defenses down, and he would start acting a little sassy and like using his hands in like a very like, I guess the way
Flamboyant.
the way I would see it is like the way me and my homegirls, like if we were talking, we would like do like our hand gestures, like, you know, like this, or like, you know, just stuff like that.
Yeah, I get
Or
you.
and then we'd say certain phrases with like this like an extra like punch of like attitude, you know, like just things that I do with my homegirls, and he started doing it, and I know he wasn't mimicking me because I wasn't speaking that way. Like I was just talking like normal, like just
Uh-huh.
getting to know him. And it did throw me off. I'm not gonna lie. Like it did kind of make me feel a little turned off, if that makes sense. I was like, I didn't really fuck with it. Like, and not because I thought like anything was wrong with him. I just feel like me personally, like, it just gave me like, I felt like I started to feel like I was on a date with like my homegirl, not like on a date with like a man that I'm potentially like getting to know, you know? So I just wasn't, it wasn't for me. I know that there are women out there that can definitely, like, I don't know if you guys seen this, probably not, but there's this account on my TikTok that has come up, and it's a family. It's a husband, his wife, and they have 2 kids, I think. And he's a makeup and hair artist, so he does TikToks of him doing his wife's makeup, his wife's hair, getting doing his daughter's hair, and he even was openly sharing that he got like a surgery, like for like his weight and stuff, like cosmetic surgery, you know.
Yeah.
And all things, you know, that we as a society like attach to, like, you know, being like womanly things. And he's married and he's happily, and his wife seems very content, very happy. Like the way they portray themselves on the internet like seems like a healthy, like happy, like family. So I know that there are women out there that can date men that are more, I guess, considered like feminine. But me personally, having been on a date with someone that gave me kind of like those traits, I don't feel like it's personally for me. If I see it on the internet, like a guy doing it, like that one guy that's like, it's the way you act. Like I thought the videos were funny, and he's obviously said in the videos that he's straight, and that's just he's just a sassy man, and that he was born that way, and that
He was born that way.
No, he literally says it in the video, like I was born this way, like I have sisters, like, you know, like he's you know, he's been open about that. And he's fine. Like, I don't know. Maybe if I went on a date with him.
Change your mind.
But I mean, I know that there are men out there like that, and it's like, I feel like there's just some things that I feel like when you're meeting people, there's things like, at least in my case, like if I were to be dating a sassy man, I feel like it's preference at that point. I feel like there's things that you can overlook, you know, like when you're dating someone, because obviously no one's perfect. So there's gonna be things that when you're probably dating, they can be like, okay, like maybe this person did this, but I can overlook it. Like it's not a big thing. Like I can still continue getting to know this person. But I think there's things that happen that you're just kind of like, okay, I'm sorry, but like
We're like,
that's a no for
yeah.
me. You know, like I can't do that. And I feel like after dating that man, like I don't think personally like I could like date like
A sassy
again,
man.
yeah, a sassy man.
Yeah.
I don't have anything against sassy men. Like I think they're fun.
Yeah.
Like I've had friends. Like I said, I've met them in like a friend form, but never dated one. I guess one all crazy. Never dated a sassy man, but I think they're fun to be around. Obviously, like I feel like I like their energy of like that. They feel more playful, if that makes sense.
I guess I'm just curious as to like, I wonder why the specifics of it. Like I wonder
Why
what
more men
yeah,
are being that
does
way?
a traditional manly man fulfill for you? Like what is
Why do you like what was
well, because I guess you're saying if the sassy man, something about it like turned you off.
yeah.
What is it about like a manly man that like I guess turns you on? What's it like? What does it fulfill for you?
I think for me, I think what turned me off is that I guess my brain does associate things like that to women, and
So
a man doing it, and a man that I was potentially trying to date just didn't.
It just
didn't
fit.
feel good to me. Like I just kind of felt like, oh no, like I don't like this. Like I just didn't like it. But I think like I'm not. I think a man, like, if you joke around, like, I mean, I could laugh and we could joke, you know, if you want to have like a sassy moment.
Yeah.
But I feel like this man, it was a part of like his personality. I think because it kept happening like throughout the whole day. So I don't think it was some. And I think also too, when he would catch me like noticing that he was doing it, he would immediately stop himself and like kind of like go back to like being normal, if that makes sense. And that also made me feel bad because it's like, I don't want him to feel like he has to not be who he really wants to be. You know, like if he's a sassy man and he wants to be a sassy man, like be a freaking sassy man. You know, like there's gonna be women out there that are gonna love you like that. But I can't. Like I can't do it.
Just not for
not
me.
for me,
Yeah,
you know.
just not for
and
me.
it's like so. But I don't know. I think I'm manly. I don't know. Like I don't know what I don't even know what I want in a regular man. I just I feel like I know that I just it's,
You know what
I
you
feel
don't
like it's
want.
easier. Yeah, I feel like it's easier to say what I don't want than to say like what I want.
Yeah, well, I guess I bring it up because some people say that people being like afraid of the sassy man apocalypse or something has like underlines of like being like homophobic or like because people are so used to the traditional like gender roles. So like when the guys are finally starting to lean a little bit more towards embracing the femininity, you know, as we go more into the future, we'll become more accepting. People are like, I think it's an internal thing of like there's an internal bias of like there's something that it fulfills for you, like something about the traditional role makes you feel either safe or makes you feel more like I don't know, what's the word? It's like similar, like reminiscing, like as if it's like something you grew up watching. You know, it just makes you feel like this is just what you were taught, and it's not your fault, obviously. It's just all subconscious. But that's what I think about when I think of the sassy man apocalypse, because I took a course in college, called Sex and Love, the philosophy of sex and love. And one of the things it talks about was that as a dude, the reason why a lot of dudes struggle with their masculinity is because in our society they basically paint this image of what like a man should be, but it's this impossible image. The same way that women have like impossible body standards, for men it's like this impossible, what would you call it? Like, this impossible like personality standard of like that a man is supposed to be tough, care for his family, unexpressive, strong, but that like that also is like an impossible standard that most men don't meet. And when they don't meet that, that's where like a lot of men get frustration and they get like either sadness, shame. Some of it turns to anger, some of it turns to misogyny, some of it turns to, you know, depression, which is why they say like, oh, men have very high depression rates. It's because they have this high standard to live up to. And I guess I want to bring it up to you guys because I always hear that thing about how like the bar is like in hell, like the bar is set really really low
for men.
For men, yeah, because I think it's so interesting because when I was learning that in philosophy class, she was basically saying that like it's technically set really really high. It's just that most men can't feel it, and that bar that it's at, it may seem like minimum, but that's like the maximum for a lot of men. And I guess I just wanted to hear that because as a dude, I was like, that's crazy. There was even a quote that she brought up. It was men would not appear so small if they weren't asked to be giants. And my philosophy teacher is a woman, so she was really asking, like, she was really peeving into us of like, you as a man, how does that make you feel? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess for me, it turned a lot around because like I had an older brother. My older brother was that very like grew up different generation, very manly, masculine man. And as a young boy, like he made me feel as though I couldn't live up to that standard. And I guess it made me think of that. I was like, but technically, neither do you. So isn't that crazy? Like to set yourself to a standard that's inachievable by default. I don't. It's just. I just wanted to hear what you guys had to say.
That was a nice little went on there. What do you
Brian,
feel, Brandon?
yeah, Brian. What do you feel?
Specifically about what, the sassy man apocalypse?
Yeah. And what do you feel about how do you feel about your like relationship between your masculinity and your femininity?
I don't know. Do you guys think I'm a sassy man?
Yeah.
You think I'm a sassy man?
Yeah. Okay, Vanessa, Julie, are me and Brandon sassy men?
Yes.
I'm a sassy man.
No, I'm just kidding.
That us. What do you think?
It's just I'm really trying to understand like sassiness.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't.
Like,
Okay, are we in touch with our feminine side?
I don't think you guys are sassy. I think you guys are just more expressive and deeper than a lot of men. Like you guys are actually willing to dig deep. You guys are actually willing to introspect.
I can't see what you're doing.
I'm high-fiving you.
Look inward and have like vulnerable conversations. And I feel like that is something that sadly it's not most men's fault, but a lot of men can't do. So I think I wouldn't consider you guys sassy. I would consider you guys like in touch with, I guess, feminine aspects that men should be able to have a good balance of like masculine and feminine.
I can live with that.
I guess even though I know what you're talking about, I also kind of have a hard time understanding what people mean by sassy man, because I'm like, do you mean like flamboyant? Like is that kind of what they mean?
Yeah, like doing things that like normally like you would see, like, you know, you see a lot of videos, at least on my algorithm, a lot of videos of girls like being loud and like, you know, being expressive with their hands and like saying certain phrases that like roll off the tongue, like very sassy and like, you know, with a lot of attitude and stuff. And men, you know, don't speak that way. So when you see a man having those traits, it's like that's a sassy man.
I don't know. I guess I'm a little mixed on it because I feel like to a degree it's probably good, right? That there are sassy men. Like it just shows that I guess guys are more comfortable kind of being that way, you know? But I guess the way I think about it is, if you look at history, that's kind of always happening. Like I always find it fascinating, that clip of Elvis when he's dancing and or his hair and stuff like that, and people thought he was super feminine for doing all that. You know, but now you look back and being like an Elvis type man is seen as super masculine. You know? So stuff like that to me is just more like, I feel like for now, because it's new, people are a little like weird about it. But in general, it's probably good, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I guess the more, I don't know, I feel like like with them, I feel like it's always funny to me when I like see that, because I feel like there's a little more connection to it, because I feel like in a way you guys can relate to kind of like what I go through as like a woman, where it's like I feel comfortable enough to, I guess, express myself as a woman because of the fact that, I guess, if I'm more just speaking on the feminine, like you guys being connected to like your feminine side. And I feel like that way for me, I feel a lot more comfortable with that sort of energy. And because I always think, honestly, because all I keep thinking about is this one TikTok of this guy who was like putting on his makeup, and he's like, oh, I'm going to go see my girlfriend. And like he was doing like full face makeup, and everyone in the comments was like super supportive of him, of like, that's really cool. And I was like, in my head, I was like, that's pretty cool, because you guys could do something together, like go shop for makeup or something. Or like there's other couples that do like matching nail sets. Like I always liked that one. And I was that's like, cool. There's certain things that I feel like they just become activities. And at least for me, I feel like as the older I get, the more I don't want things to be just, these are just for women and these are just for men kind of thing. Like I feel like now that you guys can commonly do something together, like that's really cool, and there's no judgment for that. So for me, I'm like, that's really cool. Like, because I feel like, especially now that a lot more men are speaking about mental health and stuff, I feel like that's like super powerful, because like, I mean, we've known for a while that men don't like to express themselves, and that's what causes like a lot of depression, a lot of like loneliness, and and I think men being having to do that again. I say that because I feel like the more that they can get connected to that side, the more you guys can understand us as women, of like the different emotions that we go through, the different things that we just go through. Because like I think now there's just that certain understanding and that ground of like, you get kind of, you won't get the exact emotions we do, because again, like hormones, right? But it's just like you guys can understand that and like have that connection with us. And I feel like that's why I know Brandon always talks about it when he does like his little like thing, and I always laugh about it. I'm always like, well, to me that's just like really cool and funny, because it's like it's like I'm with like my homegirls, you know, like it's just something really cool. And I feel like my boyfriend does like different like girly accents sometimes, and I think they're like the funniest thing ever too. And I'm like
as a joke, or it's part of like his, like he does it like,
I think it's part like it's part of his personality, like, and I think I like love that side because of the fact that like it makes me laugh. Like I feel like, again,
he's like, period.
Well, he doesn't say like those things, but it's just like he has that side that for me, again, like makes me feel really comfortable to be with him, because it's also like it's kind of it's also because I feel personally I have a lot of like kind of masculine energy, because I grew up with brothers, that I feel like he kind of balances that out for me. And I think we kind of like balance each other out. And I think that's why I love that energy, and that energy feeds into me because of the fact that I always felt like I wasn't feminine enough because of the fact that I grew up with brothers. And that's why, to me, to see that men are doing that a lot more is really nice, because I feel like, again, like there's just been standards in society of how women and men should be, and like how, and the different roles that we have, that like, for me, seeing that is just really cool. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I didn't know I didn't know that it was a thing. Like, it was called Sassy Man Apocalypse or whatever. I didn't know that, but like, I didn't know that that's the term for it. But
well, I guess to kind of like piggyback off that, I feel like, I don't know, because I guess like how you mentioned how I do that and it makes you laugh. That's specifically why I do it, is because it makes Julie laugh, you know? And I feel like I just would assume that, like, because how Steve was talking about how there's this like this standard for men to be kind of cold and indifferent. I feel like, I don't know, to me it's just kind of like to put people at ease, you know? Like, oh, I'm not super serious. I'm not like this cold, indifferent person. Like, I'll show you some emotion. Like, I'll make you laugh. You know, stuff like that. You know?
Just a little crumb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just to give you a preview that I'm cool. I'm cool, guys.
Yeah.
I'm pretty cool. What do you think, Vanessa?
I'm glad too that men are feeling more comfortable expressing themselves and being in touch with like their emotional side and expressing their emotions and being vulnerable. I think men need more of that to like understand themselves, to release like pent up like energy, like frustration. It's necessary for growth, I think. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little fearful. Not that I'm saying that like men being sassy is gonna, like, all men are gonna be sassy. And I'm not saying that being sassy is like your whole personality. I don't think because you're sassy doesn't mean a man can't be strong, can't be a leader. I think men can definitely be both. But I do think that I maybe when I feel like when I maybe now examining like dating this man that was a little sassy, because everything you guys are saying is making me think like, okay, like what was I really thinking and like experiencing like on this date with this person. I had been single for like 3 years, and like I had been barely feeling like, okay, like I wanted to start dating myself, dating getting putting myself out there. And my past relationship wasn't super toxic, but obviously there were a lot of things that weren't fulfilling to me in a relationship. And I guess I kind of went out there with like the mentality of like one red flag, like I'm out, you know, like this isn't gonna like work out. Like if I don't like one thing, like I'm out of here.
Which
like,
is fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I think a part of me, when I did notice that he was sassy, I did fear if he wasn't gonna be like strong enough to like defend me or like stand up for me, because that was one of the things that I struggled with in my past relationship. I felt like my partner wouldn't stand up for me and like wouldn't, you know, kind of be like that man to like protect me and just things like that. And I don't know, I guess a part of me did kind of feel fearful, like fuck, like is this something that like, you know, like am I gonna feel like supported like in a like relationship dynamic with this person? And honestly, at the time, maybe I just wasn't ready to date, if I'm being completely honest. So I was like, I'm out of here. But that's one of the things that I feel like a lot of when people say like, okay, men should be more in touch with like their femininity, I do 100% think they should, because I like we've all learned that everyone has both. You know, not men are not just masculine; they also have a feminine side that needs to be tended to. But I do think, you know, men are naturally born men; they are masculine, and they should be able to kind of embrace also like being a masculine man. And I'm not saying like go fight and like go be hard ass and like be cold. You know, I think there's a way that you can, you know, be in touch with your feminine, but also kind of stand in your masculine as like a leader, as like a provider, as like someone that brings safety and security and like all these things that represent what a masculine is, you know. And I feel like women subconsciously can tell if a man has like a good like balance of them, or at least I feel like I can. Maybe it's because I feel like I've been trying to be a little bit more aware of myself and like others. Maybe I feel like I can pick up when, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but I sometimes feel like I don't know, I feel like some men, like Brandon said, like I do things to put women at ease, and I feel like that's very thoughtful of him, and to think, okay, how can I make women feel comfortable? I think that's amazing. And I feel like I can pick up when men don't think that way. When men are not like I don't give a damn about like women. Like I'm just like here for like myself. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think masculinity is perfectly fine. I just think it's toxic masculinity that is when it becomes like a problem. Because I also think that toxic masculinity leads to a lot of emotional immaturity from a lot of guys. Like a lot of guys don't know how to like regulate their emotions. Where like you said, like because they're not expressive, they'll be mad and they'll like hold it in, and then they'll take it out. Because either way, you if you feel something, you're gonna take it out some way. It's gonna have to come out. And people take it out either on like their friends, their pets, their mom, their dad,
or things they disagree with, like same-sex relationships, or just like what democratic, what party do you go to, like Republican, like Democratic, like anything that doesn't align with like what you think is right, like you just unleash your anger out on it. And I mentioned that because I watched this video. I forgot this guy's name. I wish I could remember. Well, he's a man, and he's gay, and he dresses, as he's not trans, but he likes to, wear women's clothing and stuff. And he was on a podcast talking about, just spreading awareness and stuff. And he was saying that people are always like debating, like, is being like homosexual like wrong, like they want to bring religion into it, like, oh, you're gonna go to hell, or it's not the right thing, or God doesn't like it, like all these things, and we have like all these like embedded like beliefs that have been passed down through generations of what is right, what is wrong. But he was saying that people that are hateful towards like people that are like homosexual is actually not an issue of like what they feel is right or wrong. It's the fact that when someone is out there openly being themselves, being like gay or dressing up as a woman, just expressing themselves and just being however they want to be and not caring about what people say, that is what is really the root cause of what makes people angry, that they feel like they have to dim their light because of what society has told them, because of what their parents have told them, or because they haven't been taught to like emotionally regulate or like process their emotions. Like they haven't been taught anything. So to see someone be so free makes people angry subconsciously, and they don't understand themselves. So they just think like, oh, it's because it's wrong. That's why I feel angry, because I've been taught that it's wrong. And if I'm getting angry, it must be right. Like they're wrong. So you just gotta like throw hate. And when he said that, I was like, damn, like that really like, it even made me examine like my own like reactions, not towards like gay people specifically, but other scenarios, that I get like feelings towards. I'm like, damn, like that makes a lot of sense. Like when he said that, I was like, damn, that went hard.
Yeah, because like people project a lot. Like usually that's what I've learned as I've gotten older, is that usually something that makes you uncomfortable or a little bit angry, I always think about it deeper. Or if I see somebody and they're specifically like really fixated on this one thing, I always think it's because it's triggering something from your life, like something from your past. Like I think about it a lot when I think of the older generation, where I think of like parents, like moms or dads. Specifically moms. I'm not gonna obviously air people's business out, but there's an interaction with one of my friends where their mom was really like going in on them for doing these things in their life. And I told them, I was like, I feel like it's not you, like, because they're putting a lot of blame on themselves. I was like, I feel like it's nothing that you're doing. It's something that's wrong with her that she needs to address within herself. I just think that that's like the biggest thing. Like projection is such a bitch, because because like it really, you don't even know, like you just feel a certain type of way, and then you're like, oh, it's because of this, it's because of you, you're the one who's making me feel this way.
So I guess to make it deep, right, or like to ask you a question, do you think that like if there are women who are kind of like, I guess, uncomfortable with like the sassy man apocalypse, do you think it has to do with the fact that it's like, women are really repressed, and it's
that
like
he's able to express himself,
he's able to do that,
feel like they can't.
100%. Do you think that's where it's from a little?
I think 100%. I think it does have to do with at least me like being like really fucking honest with myself. I think 100%, because like growing up, I wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to be like, even when like Vine was a thing, I wanted to post videos on Vine, but I never actually allowed myself to post anything because I was just super critical of myself, like the way I spoke, the way I looked. I was afraid of judgment, and like, I wouldn't go on and be a hater when people were being like themselves. If anything, I would always wish like, damn, like I wish I had the balls to do what this person is doing. But I do think some people, that they don't react that way towards them. Like I feel like, at least thankfully, I didn't react negatively, but I do think that people do react negatively because deep down they want to be that person. Like this girl, she was saying like, she was on a podcast and they were asking her like, what do you do like when people like leave you like a hate comment or like they're mean to you about like anything that you post? And she was like, honestly, like I don't give a damn about any of the hate comments because any person that is doing well in life, they love their life, they love themselves, they, you know, they're getting money, they're happy. They're not gonna be wasting their time commenting something hateful on a post. Only people that are unhappy, that don't like themselves, and obviously that's deeper than that, but
yeah,
they're gonna be commenting those things, you know, and it's like it makes sense. Like
it does.
It does make sense.
I saw that video too.
Yeah.
I think it was, I don't know her name. I've seen her. She's like a TikToker.
Yeah.
I've seen her. Yeah. I think that's crazy. Do you think though we should let ourselves have an outlet for hate then? Do you think we should let ourselves just like?
Yes, a healthy one. You know, I like those places where you could go break stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've always wanted to do that, but I don't think I've ever felt like anger to do that. Like
enough anger.
I don't think I've gone through anything where I'm like, I'm about to just fucking drive it right now and break everything. Like
I used to do that in college.
Yeah.
Because I used to live on campus, so they had like different like carnivals and like just different things for like students, especially during finals. And they did like they would buy like I think the plates were like $1, and they would buy like box full of them, and then you would like write on the plate like what was going through like whatever you had the semester, whether it's finals, whether it's like just like emotional stuff that you have going on, you would write it and then you would just start throwing it on the ground, and it was really cool. It was nice.
Did you do it? So you did it?
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did it. I did it a couple of times. Through like when I was there, when they would have it, I would be like, "Oh, I'm down to do that."
Nice.
I think for a class we were supposed to do something where we were supposed to help because they showed us a like a stat about how a lot of freshmen, I forgot what the percentage was, probably like 20 maybe 30%, I don't know the exact, but the stat is that a lot of freshmen end up dropping from college because they don't feel like really welcomed, especially like when they're going to a whole different city. And so they were like, oh, like I want you guys to come up with like an activity, something to get like the freshmen a lot more involved that live in the dorms. And I did one of those, and I was like, you guys should do this because like it's just stress reliever, and that way you guys can also mingle around. But it was cool. It's honestly like because like you're so used to that you shouldn't break plates, you know, especially like at home. Mom always gets mad when you break something. So when like you have something where you can just like write down whatever you have going on and just break it, it feels nice. It's nice to like just do that.
Or scream.
Scream.
Oh yeah, or
I love to
scream.
scream.
Well, I think like going back to your question, right? Should people hate? I think all emotions are good. I think like you're supposed, if you have an emotion, you're supposed to feel it.
Yeah.
100%.
I just think it's all dependent on how you handle that emotion.
Yeah.
Like the one I think about the most is like anger. Like I think a lot of people have like a bad connotation with anger because a lot of people I think don't handle it well.
Yeah.
You know? But I still think you're supposed to feel anger.
Yeah.
Like let's say someone like disrespects you and you get angry. I don't think you're a bad person for being angry. You know, that can be a form of self-esteem. Like I shouldn't have been treated that way.
Yeah.
But I feel like it becomes a problem when you react to it, like when you use it badly.
Yeah, beat them up.
Yeah, when you're like, well, now I'm gonna pass this on to somebody else. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So I think hate, you should probably have some sort of outlet to feel that.
Healthy.
But I think it's one of those emotions that's like super, super strong. So it's like I mean it's the opposite of love, right? So it's like it's really that strong. So I don't think it really gets expressed very healthily.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, because I even see memes on it where it's like, I am a natural hater. Like, I was born to be a hater. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those. Yeah. And I'm like, I made me genuinely think, like, I don't know, is there a purpose? Is there a place for people who genuinely just want to hate? Or are those people that just need to be healed? Or are they just people that, like, there's something to...
I feel like, I think it's the same thing how we've talked about, like, sadness, where, like, sadness also gives you kind of that dopamine. Where like, and that's why a lot of people get stuck in that. And I think with like people hating, I think a lot of people also get stuck in kind of like that, the hatred where, and like, that's all that they do because they kind of feel that they are releasing the hate, or they feel some sort of like better because they're hating.
Like, yeah, like when they say I got cheated on, I'm gonna go cheat back.
Yeah.
Bro, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's kind of like a quick fix.
Yeah.
Like how you guys were talking about earlier about how like usually it's like projecting.
Yeah.
I feel, at least in my opinion, whenever the like emotion of hate has come up, there's usually like something inside me that's more the problem.
Yeah.
Like so I just feel like like let's say like a situation we can all relate to, right? It's like hate comments, right? I feel like there's a lot of hate on the internet where it's like, oh, y'all cringe, you know. And I think, I think that's obviously like the quick release, you know. Like, I hate these people, they're cringe. Fuck them, get them off my feed, you know. But I feel like the reality of that is usually people are just like, I kind of wish I was brave enough to do that. I wish 100%. I was brave enough to show myself.
Yeah.
So that's like the real thing. But to kind of like process that emotion is a lot harder than just being like, you know, fuck you on the internet. So
leaving the comment is like the easy way out. To actually like face yourself.
It's like a quick dopamine rush, you know. So
no, I think anger is good when it comes up in the moment, because I feel like it's like an indication, like it's trying to nudge you, like if you're somewhere you're not supposed to be and you feel angry, it's like anger is going to keep you safe, right? Like you're feeling angry, so remove yourself from the situation, like go somewhere else, or like, you know, or if you're angry, like I don't know, I think feeling anger is like indication to things, whatever the situation is. I feel like it's when you don't, like, you suppress it and you keep putting yourself in those situations where, you know, maybe if you're in a toxic relationship where your partner is like constantly making you angry and you just stay there. I know those are hard to get out of, those cycles, but I feel like when it's like repressed anger and it's just like stay in it, that's when it becomes like, you know, hard to get out of, like you said, like toxic, like just can't get out of it. But I do think anger is good. I saw this post one time and it talked about how labeling things is as good or bad isn't the best thing to do, because nothing is like inherently good or bad. Like things are just happening, and they're all ultimately for like your betterment if you choose to like see the lesson in things or the good things. And I feel like that's helped me when I feel like angry or things like that. Like it's helped me like move through the emotion and not like get stuck in it when I feel like, okay, if I feel like disrespected, or if I feel angry, if I feel ashamed, if I feel whatever like negative emotion, I don't see it as bad anymore. I don't label them like, oh, these are bad things anymore. Like I'm like, okay, I feel this, like why am I feeling this? Like let me like dive a little deep, like let me explore like what's going on. Like try to get to the root of it instead of just like leaving a hate comment, for example, you know, like to just like quickly like, get by.
Like let it be somebody else's problem. Like I feel bad, let me spread it to somebody else. That's like the one that I've struggled with the most is sadness. Like for a good minute, like if I was sad, I'd be like, no, I don't want to be sad. Like I'm gonna make sure, just not gonna think about it. I'm gonna just make sure that I like somehow make myself happy. And then recently I started more kind of sitting with it, and I realized that when I feel sad, it's more of a moment of reflection of like clearly there's something that's wrong, and to just ignore it is to not give myself that empathy that I give a lot of other people. Because when your friends are sad, you're like, bro, like, why do you feel sad? Like, let me cheer you up.
Yeah, like, what can I do to help you? Like, I want to be
but
there for you.
Yeah, exactly. But yet when like, I don't know if other people can relate to this, but when it's like yourself, for me, I struggle where I'm like, nah, bro, like it's not that serious.
Like, no, hand me the bottle right now.
Did I ask? And you were gonna say something too, Julie? No?
Yeah, well, because I was gonna mention my therapist.
Shout out to them.
No, because she was telling me that like a lot of, I mean, we're like emotional people, you know. We express a lot of different emotions, whether it's like love, hate, whether it's insecurity. She told me, she's like, if you feel those types of emotions, just process them, like process what you're feeling, and like whether you want to think about why you're thinking, like why you're feeling that way, or just be like, just process the emotion and let yourself feel it. Like it's okay, like you're completely normal, you're a human being, like it's completely normal to just feel different emotions. Like
I'm built different though. That's that's the struggle I have.
I'm thinking about, have you guys seen the movie Inside Out?
Yeah.
The scene where, oh, I forgot the imaginary friend that the little girl had.
Bing Bong?
Bing Bong, yeah. That scene where Bing Bong, like his little wagon falls down to like the pit or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he's sitting there and he's really sad, and sadness is going up to him, like, because she's sadness, she understands sadness, but happiness was like, joy was like, no, sadness, like, what are you doing?
Like leave him
alone. Like, let's try to bring, like, she was trying to like make him happy in a moment where he was like really sad about something that just happened. And then Joy just stepped back and she was like, okay, like, let me see how sadness is gonna handle it. And all she did was like ask him questions like, that was like your favorite wagon? And he was like, yeah, like me and what's her name, like, used to play on it, and we had so many adventures on it. And she was like, oh, that must be really sad, like, I'm really sorry that happened. And like she was just like allowing room for that emotion to like take over and for him to like just feel it. and together they got through. And then he got up like, okay, like, let's move on. Like, what are we gonna do? But if she would have never done that, he would just been stuck there.
Yeah.
Because something you just gotta feel it and then let it go.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing to do, I think, because when we're young, our parents obviously don't know the best way to handle emotions, especially like, I mean, my experience in my Latino household, like, it's just like, stop crying, I'm gonna give you something to cry about, like, it's all smacks and whips and all this stuff, and like, and ass whoopings, and it's just like, damn, like, I can't feel shit. Like, I literally have memories of my mom hitting me because I was laughing too hard. Like, who fucking does that? Like, that's insane.
My bad, I don't mean to laugh.
Literally, dude, like, my mom would do that. Like, me and my sister would be laughing like really hard, and she'd come in the room mad as hell. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, why are you laughing?
Like, why are you having a better time than I am?
So bitter, bro. Like, literally, dude. Not just one time. Like, my mom had like really hard time. Like, I think now looking back, she would just get overstimulated, and she didn't have no patience, like zero. So loud noises would just like send her over the edge. Like, they irritate the hell out of her. So she didn't know how to process that. So she would just take it out on us by like being mean. And I feel like because that was like the instance with a lot of things, even like sadness, I feel like would make my parents uncomfortable because no one was there for their sad moments when they were kids. I feel like my parents just always taught me to like just like distract. Give me a toy, give me an ice cream cone, give me something to like not think about it. And you grow up and you have that mentality of those feelings where it's like you weren't taught like a healthy way to sit with them, so now you're like, okay, I feel uncomfortable feeling this, I don't like it, it's not good, I should be happy, why am I not happy? Like, let me distract myself, let me get on my phone, let me go freaking fuck up some food, like let me do something, anything that doesn't allow me to feel it. And it's hard, but I think it's hard because it's been years of being this way, right? Like, we grew up our whole lives being this way, and it's like when you try to actually put in the work in to do something different, I feel like we want like instant gratification, right? Like, we want it to feel easy instantly so that we can keep doing it, but it takes years, it was years of programming, it takes years of deprogramming. Like, it's not gonna be like easy right away. But
yeah, because it reminds me of how like a lot of the older generations, like this new generation is always talking about this like trauma and bullshit, like that shit didn't exist back then, but it did. We just didn't know like the science or whatever you want to call it. It just wasn't there. Like these terms, like how you said she got overstimulated, like that's like that exists. I mean, people talk about how even an artist like Van Gogh, like he probably had, was he autistic or
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. Like they talk about a lot of historical figures. Like I think Einstein, famously, people say that he had autism.
Yeah.
And they talk about like these things have existed for like hundreds of years. It's just that recently we became educated. So obviously, for people who are trying to do something new, it's really gonna scare like our family and our parents, because they're like, maybe that's just bullshit, but it's not. It's proven that it's pretty true because we see how the benefits of it. I mean, you're talking about it. I mean, it's like. And you feel healthy and conscious of that.
And not just that, but it's allowed me to forgive like my mom, to know those terms and to know like what maybe like her inner world was like when she was like inflicting pain upon me. I'm sad about it still.
Take another drink.
Like, it's helped me forgive, because I feel like for a long time I was angry at her. Like, dude, all of high school I never hugged my mom, not once.
Oh, damn.
My mom would try to hug me. She would try to like, be like my mom, because she's a really affectionate person, but my mom never was able to say sorry. So she would be like the type to lash out, and then like she would even like not talk for like 2 days, and then
that's crazy.
And then she'd be like, "Would you want to go eat? Like, you want me to take you to McDonald's?" Like, that was her way of like being like sorry. So I hated that. I hated that so much. So I just grew like so much resentment over the years. Like, I couldn't hug her, dude. Barely like when I got out of college, when I dropped out of college, I started like feeling like, okay, like I don't want to feel this way towards her no more. Like, let me work on this. Like, and I barely started being able to like hug her. But dude, to this day, like, I've gotten better. Like, I'll hug her, I'll kiss her now when I see her. But to this day, there are still times like where she randomly just hugs me, like, and I immediately feel cringe. Like, I immediately feel like, bro, get the fuck off me right now. I want to sock you. Like, and it's crazy because like nothing's happening. Like, she just came up to me and unexpectedly and gave me a hug. Like, as all moms would want to do. Like, I know I would want to go up to Ezra randomly and hug him all day if I could. So it's like I have to sit with it. I used to like be like, get off me, but now I don't. Now I just sit there and I let her hug me. But bro, like the immense like like discomfort I feel in those moments, it still happens even after years of work, and I think that's I think people should know that
takes time.
It takes time, but it's I would even go as far to say that it might always be a part of you, if that makes sense. But it'll get easier over time.
Yeah, because they say childhood development, like things that happen when you're really young, stick with you basically most of your life.
Yeah.
Brandon, was it you who told me there was like, yeah, your dad, right? You said that he's like in his 70s and stuff that happened when he was a kid, he still reacts to it.
Yeah, my dad has this weird thing where he'll be like, it's not serious, but like it's something that makes you think, right? Where it's like, let's say I'm going to get lunch with my dad. He's very like, oh, get your shoulders off the table, but he'll never, he's never mad about it, but he'll be like, oh, you know where I learned that? I learned that in Catholic school. That's because the nuns used to beat me for having my. Cause
he says it all casually.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that's but you could tell he's like a 7-year-old man, and that still sticks with him.
Yeah,
you know?
Dude, that's
or
sad
like
as hell.
If like we're out to eat and it's kind of like a nice place, and you know how sometimes they'll bring you bread, he'll only eat the crust, and he'll be like, you know, when I was a kid, I used to eat the whole thing, but the nuns would hit me and be like, that's gluttony. You shouldn't eat everything. Like you need to leave something. Damn. So he said that he couldn't stop, and one of the nuns' advice was like, just eat the crust. Like that's the healthiest part, and like you'll leave something behind so they won't hit you. And to this day, that's all when he gets bread, he'll only eat the crust. Won't. Yeah, so it's like I agree with you. I want to give him a hug. I don't think that kind of shit leaves you. It's just kind of like you become a little like
you make peace with it. Yeah, and you like live with it. And I feel like that's one of the things that I feel like I've learned about my mom and dad, that I finally like a long time ago realized like I can't change them. That's only something they can do for themselves. So I just have to love them for who they are, where they're at. Obviously setting my boundaries where I feel like it's necessary for like my own mental well-being, but for the most part, like accepting that, like, you know, like for example, my dad doesn't like when you play like rap music in the car. Cause even Bad Bunny, dude, because you know how Bad Bunny says a lot of like explicit things, you know, like lambiéndote el culo and shit like that. Like my dad, like he'll go off, he'll be like, what kind of shit, you know? And it's like, it's just a song, but the emotional reaction that he gets when hearing like certain lyrics,
that's crazy.
He gets so angry, and so it would make me mad. I'd be like, what the fuck is your problem? I used to fight with him in high school. Like, it's just a fucking song. Like, you know, like, I would go like head to head with him. But now I just know, don't play the song. And it's not like, it doesn't anger me anymore. Like, I just choose peace. Like, I love my dad and I do want him in my life. So changing, if I have to change that one little thing, it's not going to kill me. Like, I know that I can also, I'll listen to that song when I'm alone. Like, I'd much rather hang out with my dad than, you know, disown him for just like that thing, you know. And that's just a little example. I know there's like bigger things out there, but you know, it's just like those little tweaks that like when I think about like forgiveness, I think me and Saul were talking about it last episode, or not the last, an episode where he talks about like how we struggle with forgiveness. And I've learned that like forgiveness is not about like the other person, right? Because they're going through their life. If they haven't reached out to you, then they have no, I mean, I'm not saying that they're not having a struggle with the situation, but they're fine where they're at. They're not reaching out to you. They're not trying to repair the situation, but you have all these feelings that are conflicting inside of you, right? Like you're replaying the situation, you know, you're replaying like what you want to say, and you just feel all these kinds of way. And it's like, you feel like, why do I have to be the one to reach out and to, you know, amend things? Like, why can't they reach out to me? It's kind of like that ego of like, you know, you want them to be the first one to make the move, especially like if you're the one that's always reaching out, trying to like amend. You're that friend that's always like wanting to create peace when you feel like there isn't. And I struggled with that I felt like I'm always that friend that's like trying to repair, even when I know that I'm not wrong. And I'm not like that I can't be wrong, because I can be introspective and I know when I fuck up, and I know when like I'm not doing like something good. But I feel like sometimes I can be like, okay, like I can understand her point, but I feel like she overreacted or something, like just like little things like that. So why do I have to be the one to come to her when like she blew up, if that makes sense? And it's just like an example, but it's like I'm doing it for me, you know, like I'm the one that is gonna get peace at the end of this. I don't know how the other person is gonna feel after this experience, but I know that I'm gonna feel calm. I'm gonna have been able to like let something go by just forgiving. So I'm like, it's not for the other person, like it's for myself.
Because you did everything you could, right?
So
there's no, it reminds me of the Mamba mentality, Kobe. Kobe talked about how, I always bring this up for some reason, but I just think it applies to a lot. Kobe talked about how he trained like his absolute hardest every single time before a game, so that way if he lost that game he wouldn't feel sad, because he did everything he possibly could to be ready for the game.
Yeah.
So it kind of reminds me of that, of like forgiveness, of like, I did what I could.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't feel sad, or I shouldn't hold it in anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more I could have done.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing to tie it into, but
no, R.I.P. Kobe.
R.I.P.
Miss you.
I don't talk about it right now. I don't want to talk about that right now.
Take a shot for Kobe.
All right.
I'm gonna take a little half one, a little baby one.
Do you mind? I'm down to get one. Julie?
I'm gonna do a little half. I'm not gonna do anything crazy.
I guess.
Yes.
What time do you
Brandon?
guys have work tomorrow?
Me?
Yeah.
Work is so ghetto, you guys. Do you guys ever dream about being unemployed? 'Cause I know
Work is
I
so
do.
ghetto.
Unemployed. Unemployed in what sense? Unemployed like I'm living off the street, or unemployed like I'm rich and I got
Like you're
No.
retired at a young
Yeah.
age. Right?
I was telling my. Do you have a little?
Yeah.
I was telling my friend the other day. I was like, it's not that I don't want to work. I don't like feeling like I have to work to survive. That's my thing with
Yeah, 'cause
work. Like I hate that if I don't work, how am I gonna pay my car? It's gonna get
Yeah.
repoed. You know what I mean? Like if I don't
Yeah.
work, how am I gonna pay my insurance? I need insurance to have my car. You know, like
Yeah, because it's
those
dystopian as
things.
fuck.
No,
it's
yeah.
so dumb. That's what pisses me off. I feel like if I didn't have that pressure, I feel like I would actually enjoy
Like,
my work.
oh.
Even if it
Like-
wasn't like even if it wasn't like fulfilling,
Yeah.
Thank you.
like, or I would feel like it's fine. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. It's kind of like that sinister, like you said, dystopian. Like we really have to work to survive.
Bro,
type
because
shit.
you're basically like a slave to the government.
Yeah.
You're only alive to serve them, to make an economy.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're working just to fucking survive, you're not gonna have a good time.
You're not.
I mean, that's why the lower class, like a lot of people just drink, like
Dude,
like us.
literally. Dude, literally. Do you want
Brandon,
a
you
shot,
want
Brandon?
one?
It's okay if you don't.
Yeah, it's
I'll
okay.
take
A little. We're all taking baby ones.
Let me see if I can get
Dude,
you my
like
shot.
we were talking last night when we were at the table.
Yeah, you were
the
saying.
day, Josh and Hugo's dad was there sitting with us talking, and he's a big Catholic believer, so he saw them like rolling like a J, and he was trying to like use it as an opportunity to talk about Jesus. Shout out to him though, he was sweet. He wasn't doing it like in a
Oh, okay.
judgmental way. Like I think he just cares about his children, and he always says like, I don't control my children's lives, but I feel like as a parent it's my responsibility to tell them what I feel like is right, and the choice is up to them.
I can
Because he's
respect
like,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, I want to feel like good knowing that I've had like this information that in my mind can help them, and I'm not sharing it with them.
Mhm.
So I think that's nice as a dad, because I feel like a lot of parents take it too far, where they're like, you have to do what I say and how I say it, and like that's creates like tension. But he's always given them like the choice of like, you know, here's your, oh my bad, this is your like this is your life. And
Yeah.
he was at one point he was talking about how like the devil tempts you. I guess
Yeah.
he was talking about tattoos and how he feels like, you know, your body's a temple and you shouldn't, you know, mess with it, because God uses your body and you as like a vessel for it to go out, do God's bidding. And
I could argue with that, but I won't.
no, yeah, because we
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
oh, for sure.
yeah.
We were all sitting there shaking like.
I sit here with like my arm all
with my little
tattooed.
tat.
You like covered
Literally,
it
I
up.
was like, bro, I'm blasted. Don't do this. No. And we were just sitting there, and then at one point, we were talking about like smoking weed, because he also had like obviously like not the best idea about weed. But he was saying how I was explaining to him that I don't smoke weed anymore, but I told him, but when I did, I was grateful for the time that I had while I smoked weed, because whenever I would go through a problem or anything that I just was like, that I was conflicted about, whether it was good or bad, you can think about it sober, but just like your ego has like a say in it as well. And I feel like it's hard to kind of come to any like, how does like equilibrium, like you can't really, like you just feel all these types of ways, like you want to be right, you want to like you want to have the last word. It's just like you can't really reach like an end goal when you're fighting with your mind. It's kind of hard to, you can, but
like objectivity kinda?
Yeah, you can't be subjective either. Like you can't like be like a third person. Like some people are better at it than others, I believe,
For
sober.
sure.
And I was telling him, when I'm high, I feel like I can look like at any scenario and I can like observe it and like not judge it, not feel angry, not feel anything, and like I can look at it in many perspectives, and I can even gain new perspectives while I'm high, and it'll allow me to like
She's spitting.
it'll allow me to like resolve or feel good inside, you know. And I was telling him that And he was like, damn, like the devil's working hard. Like he was just making like this comment about how
that's
like
crazy.
About how like the devil I forgot how he worded it. And he wasn't trying to be malicious. Like I think I genuinely know his strong in his faith. So he was saying how like the devil is really good at convincing you to like, you know,
go to his side.
To like not go to his side, but like he'll like whisper in your ear and he'll come across as like a friend and like tell you like do this, do that, you know, like smoke weed. And I feel like he was trying to say that like the devil's the one telling us to smoke weed, and he paints it out to us to be as like a good thing that'll help us.
Yeah.
But it's not like the right thing to do. And then his son Josh made a comment. He's like, damn, the devil's working overtime. And we had just talked about how none of us wanted to work. And I was like, damn, not even the devil can escape the grasp of like government. And like, how you work? Like, you gotta work too,
That's
you know?
funny.
And we were just cracking up. But I think it doesn't bother me having conversations like this with a person that can speak and also let you speak, because he was also letting us speak like our like perspective
for sure,
and he was open to it, even though we weren't able to change his mind at all. That wasn't what we were trying to do. He wasn't trying to change our mind. I think it was a nice conversation of him sharing his perspective and us sharing ours and just having a conversation. We were laughing about it. We were cracking, even us cracking jokes about the devil and like stuff. He was laughing about it too, you know, like he wasn't like uptight about it, but he is like a man like strong like in his faith, you know. So I can admire that, you know. I think
that's beautiful.
I think I can admire, even if it's like not aligned with like me. I think it's I think anything that can get people by, like it's good, you know.
I also think it's just needed. I think like just being around your own perspective and your own values, your own belief, like most of the time isn't good. I think there should always be conversations. You should always be challenged. Brian, you were gonna say something, right, about weed?
I was just gonna say that like I agree. Like I actually I guess in that take like
about the devil or
no. About I feel like not that long ago I was having some trouble with something. I feel like it was awkward for me to like process, because I feel like the connotation is that like people would be like, nah, you were just smoking to like numb the pain or like to not think about it. But I genuinely feel in my heart of hearts, and I haven't smoked in almost a year now, just because I wanted to take a break. I genuinely feel even like right now that me smoking during that time really helped me, because I feel like I was able to look at that problem really objectively. And in fact, I feel like I was having more rational thought in those moments than when I was sober. And I get it, you know. I'm not here to argue and be like, see, you should always smoke weed. Like I get it. For some people, it's not like that. For some people, it's really not like that. I get it. But I agree with you. Like for some people, it is like that, you know.
I'll drink to that. I'll drink to that. Cheers.
Everybody, if you got a joint, light it up. We don't got one, so this
cheers, Brandon. I'll assume that's. I see it.
Cheers.
You okay, bro?
Yeah, shit nasty.
You want some coffee?
Nah, I'm good.
I have a trace of the coffee.
I'll thug it.
You're thugging it out? That's a man right there.
I'll thug it out.
He's in his masculine energy right now.
Have you guys seen those TikToks where people are getting like iced coffee and they're mixing it with the chocolate buzzball or the coffee buzzball?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it good?
We should try it. I don't know.
Oh.
Damn, you thought I tried it already? Alcoholic.
I think one time you sent us one where she like blesses the coffee too.
Oh yeah.
She like puts it in the McDonald's coffee and then
funny.
she like blesses it and then she drinks it.
I still haven't tried it, y'all.
I still haven't tried it either.
Fuck it,
but
after the podcast, Patreon.
For real, huh? And you know what? I want to try. Well, actually, I already tried it. Have you guys seen people are mixing a buzzball with a beatbox?
Yeah.
I tried it.
Yeah. You tried it?
Yeah.
Good?
It's ass, low key.
Ass?
Like
What's the point of that?
It's not. I just to get more fucked up. I think like
faster. Jesus.
To have fun, chill.
The flavor I don't think is like crazy. Like you know, it's like
ass.
Doesn't make it any better. You know what I mean?
Gasoline flavors.
Well, because don't buzzballs suck?
Bro, what are you doing?
I mean,
bro, what are you doing? That's literally the buzzball president right there.
Triggered. I actually own it. It's women owned.
I know
it is women owned.
It is women owned.
You basically insulted every woman.
Women. You're saying women can't make good things.
Edit that out. You can't see. You can't see my mouth, so you can edit it out.
Oh yeah, he said I love buzzballs.
I love buzzballs.
I love the jump to conclusion too. He's like, you're saying women can't make good things. That's fucked up, bro.
What's it called? No, dude, I like the green one and the peach one. I don't really care for the other ones.
The green one's good.
I forgot which one I tried. I think it was the red one. And I remember you couldn't taste like the alcohol. It tasted really good.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I recently yacked up 2 buzz balls. So
you got jacked up?
I yacked up 2 buzz balls recently. Literally like 5 days ago. She saw me. I was down bad, bro. I was down bad.
What'd you do? Where were you at?
But you drank so much. Though.
Yeah, it's because but it was weird. It caught me by surprise. I don't know. I drank. I went to a Clippers game with my brother in Staples Center or Crypto.com Center. I don't know what it's called. But I drank a buzz ball because it was in my fridge, and my brother's like, "Do you want to drink this?" And I'll drink a beer. I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I drank it with him, and then he's like, "Oh, let's go. Let's pregame. Let's go to the liquor store before we go." And I was like, "Okay, for sure." And my brother goes in. He comes out. He got me another buzz ball, and he got like a pack of beers. And I was like, all right, well, like I told you, like that's my older brother. Like I can't let him know that like his little brother can't hang. So I drink that one. And then I was like, damn, I'm super thirsty. I forgot my water. And then I don't know, my dumbass is like, there's water in the White Claws that he bought. It's a seltzer.
Oh,
so I drank one of those. And then we got in the arena, and my brother just loves drinking. So he's like, oh, like, do you want another drink? And I was like, I'll get you a margarita.
That's crazy.
And I was like, sure. But that one was straight gasoline. Yeah, it tasted so nasty. I don't know. And yeah, I was enjoying the game. I literally remember because I semi blacked out. Like I don't remember everything.
Damn.
I remember I saw you. I was waving towards because she was there, and I was waving towards you. And I was like, you know what? This is nasty. I'm gonna just chug this. I'm gonna just finish this because I don't want it. So I just slurped it up. The few memories that I have is I remember I went to the restroom. I remember we left. I remember I was at In-N-Out. I remember finding the lids to my drink. I remember I sat down and ate. I remember I was home. And then that's when I remember I yacked. And that's where I like, okay. I'm here. Like I exist. Like I'm alive. Thank God.
Do you remember the game?
Sam, a little bit,
crazy.
yeah. That's what made me sad.
I was gonna be like, did you remember seeing me on the court or not?
I do. I remember that. I remember waving to you, and then
that shit was funny because
he looked fucked up.
No, well,
did I?
Okay. So it was funny because he took a picture on Instagram that he was there, and then I was like, wow. And I worked there, and I was like, you bitches. I was like, y'all didn't tell me y'all were gonna be here, and then he didn't reply to me. And then he texted me and he's like, hey, he's like, me, Valentin, and one of our cousins were at the game. And I was like, where are you guys? And he never replied to me. and then I was like, I'm gonna be on the court during halftime. And so then halftime comes up, and then I saw the picture, and I already like I've been there for a while, so I knew where he was sitting. I was like, oh, he's in the entrance or like the exit where I go on and off the court. And then I remember the kids were like playing. I was on the court. I was like making sure everything was good. And then I just get like a text message from him because I have my watch, because I can't take out my phone, but I have my watch. And then he's like, Julie, he's like, I see you on the court. And then I saw it, but I was like, I know he's like behind me. And then he's like, turn left, and then I turn, and it's just both my brothers. And it's funny because they're the only ones who are standing up. Everyone else is like sitting down, and I just see them waving. And then I look at him, and I was like, yeah, that fool's fucked up.
Bro, he does
like jumping. He does like a certain like something with like his body that I can tell that he's fucked up.
Damn.
I'm just so loose.
Yeah,
like,
he's
like,
like, he was just like,
I'm in the moment.
and then I remember. I become sassy. I remember my brother started telling him something, and then my brother, when he was outside like yakking, I was with my other brother inside the house, and he's like, yeah, he was spilling his drink on people when like they were standing.
Really?
And so that's what he was telling you. He's like, bro, chill, like you're spilling your drink.
Damn, I don't.
And I saw that you had a cup.
Nights.
You guys are, everybody listening to it, it's the first time I'm listening to it too. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
I
crazy,
saw him
bro.
telling you something because you were like moving around, and you had it looked full. It looked pretty full.
That's when I chugged it, because I was like, I don't want to spill it anymore either. So I was like,
that's hilarious.
But yeah, that shit was funny because I was like, yeah, that fool's fucked up.
Hey, everybody watching, we've all been there. It's all right.
Stick to weed. Stick to weed. Stick to weed. Weed doesn't make you do that. It just makes you ponder. Makes you think. Makes you see things objectively.
Some people yak on weed.
Oh, edibles,
yeah.
Edibles, not that much.
I've never yacked on.
Smoke. I had a friend who yacked off a pen.
But that's because of the coughing. No, that's
I have a friend who he says that when he gets too high, he gets nauseous.
Interesting.
Really?
Off like actual weed, like he smokes joints.
Vanessa smoke right now live on the pod.
Bro, I'll cry. Dude, if I was the type of person that can silently deal with anxiety, I'd do it, but I can't. It took every ounce of energy to not spaz out when I was at your house, fighting for my life. I think the only reason why I was able to do it is because I had already been drinking, so that kind of like I got crossed. But I swear to you, like everything inside of me was screaming like I want to die right now. Like I was like I'm gonna die. Like I was feeling so many kinds of way. I was like, oh my god, there's no fucking way. Like I'm just sitting here. Did I look scared?
Yeah.
Or did I look relaxed?
You look like tense. I wouldn't say scared, but you definitely look like the vibes I've seen off. That look. Yeah, the vibe was
you're like she's going through it. Yeah. Dude, that's when Brandon would look at me. I know he was concerned for me like a good friend.
Yeah.
And that's how I was like, do stop looking at me, because I feel like when you're looking at me, I guess I felt ashamed. Like I was like, bro, like I'm so like ashamed right now. Like can't believe I'm at my friends. Like I'm ruining the vibe. Like I'm over here about to die.
You kept asking us stuff, and I was like, bro, you're chilling.
Dude, and that, you know, I do that a lot. Like even when I'm drunk sometimes, I'll be like mega drunk and I'll tell my friends, dude, like am I acting stupid? And they'll be like, no, dude, like you're fine. Like but in my brain, I know that I'm like zooted. Like I'm so done. Like I'm so like far gone. And it'll turn into like a repetitive questions where my friends have like literally shook at me, like, stop fucking asking me that, dude. You're fine.
You're looping.
You're literally chilling. Like you're not acting weird. You're not acting dumb. And like I'll literally be like, no, I'm acting dumb. Like I'm doing something dumb right now. Like, and I'm not. I'm just thinking that about myself.
That's crazy.
And the same thing happens with weed. Like I feel like that's why I get more anxious, because I'm like, damn, like I'm like super like hyper vigilant of myself, and I'm like of everything, not just what I feel. Like I feel like I could feel everything inside my body, and like it's just so weird. Like I start tripping myself out. And it's just like I feel like I'm gonna die.
The few times where I've gotten really high and I've gotten a little like paranoid and like insecure, I feel that way. Like I feel like even when I talk to like my friends or people who are around me when I'm that high, I feel like they're judging me. Yeah, they're like, fuck, like I'm being perceived right now, like crazy.
Literally. And sometimes I think like that's meant to happen, right? Like I feel like when I sober up and I think about like that experience of feeling like judged, I feel like that is because I still think that being afraid of judgment is still in me. So I feel like when that happens, I feel like it's like an opportunity for me to like observe that, like, hey, like this is still in you somewhere hidden, and it's gonna come up. Like I feel like weed brings stuff out that's like deep inside of you sometimes. And I feel like that's something that definitely like weed does to me. Like I'm like, bro, like I feel like that's another reason why I stopped. I'm like, bro, like I can't smoke. Like I can't, like just the feeling of feeling like people are judging you even though they're not, it's so shitty. Like I'm like, bro, I can't just exist right now. Like I can't do it. I can't.
There's these big eyes just looking at me.
Just staring at me. Yeah. I wish so terribly that I could just be like a chill, like
a chill high.
Like a chill. I used to be that way. I don't know why. I think honestly, my theory is that after I gave birth, like my hormones haven't been like the same. Like I think I'm depleted of like a bunch of minerals and vitamins and a bunch of things that I just feel like weed just doesn't hit the same. Like it doesn't.
Do psychedelics. Do DMT.
Dude, I feel like that'll send me overboard for sure.
Yeah, no, DMT, you'd be different for sure. Imagine she's like, guys, like,
I quit the podcast.
I don't like buzz balls anymore.
I'm gonna be a nun.
Bro, I remember one time you texted me that you did shrooms and you're like, nothing happened. I guess I'm dead inside.
Yeah.
That shit was funny. I was like,
dude, I'm literally like, I did them twice, you guys. But I think I might have. I actually no.
You didn't take enough?
No, I think I did. It was a lot. It was a lot what I did. Maybe they was just bum shrooms, to be honest.
I just thought it was funny. She's like, I'm dead inside.
Yeah, I was like bracing myself. Like I mentally prepared for it, but nothing happened.
Yeah. What you were saying, where you're like, I keep asking people over and over, like, oh, is everything okay? Like, am I okay?
Yeah.
It reminded me of you and the oranges. Do you remember that? When we took shrooms and Brandon was looping, he kept asking me if like he was making a mess with shrooms, and I was like, no, bro, you're good. And he's like, and like 5 minutes would go by, and he's like, bro, is it me or is there like a lot of like orange peels everywhere? And I was like, no, bro, like don't worry, like we'll clean them up anyway. And he's like, I just feel like I'm making a mess. Like I don't. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel
different.
Like it's different because I was obviously like hallucinating. So there was oranges from my point of view, and it did look like a mess.
They just looked everywhere.
Yeah, But you know how it is.
That's hilarious.
You know how it is. It'd be like that
It'd be like
sometimes.
that.
It'd be like that.
I don't know why it made me think about that one movie. Is it called Sausage Party? The one where it's like animated and it's
I think
all
so.
the
They're
food?
hot dogs. Yeah.
Yes, and then they're all like sexual.
Oh, at the end is like an orgy.
Not that isn't throughout the whole movie. There's like many sexual references throughout it.
I think so. Well, because he's a sausage and he
Yeah.
wants to get with the bun.
Yeah. What do you think was the point of that movie? Honestly, just comedy.
It's funny. Seth Rogen got high.
I think it's kind of like one of those things because I think it was one of the first like rated R 3D animated films. So I feel like it was kind of like, yeah, it was a comedy, but I think it was also kind of like shock value a little. Like, you know, like, wow, look at all the shit we can do.
They wanted the record too.
And then there's people, you guys know that there's people that actually like have sex using like a lot of food.
Really?
I don't know the name of it. There's a name, like people actually.
I've heard of that.
People actually like will have like whole ass meals while they're having sex, like on their body, eating.
Panda Express.
No, like straight up like
buffet.
People will like eat a lot of stuff. I used to think it was just like the like the basics, like like whipped cream, or like the little stuff like that. But I didn't know people like full out
have,
like
spaghetti and pizza.
had straight up
really?
like literally
time saver.
Don't they get like bloated and shit?
People, I guess I saw like a video on a while back. I don't remember, but I guess some people like to eat like their favorite food while they're orgasming. And together at the same time, like
it's like something messy, like spaghetti.
Dude, what would you guys eat?
That's a good question.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I could eat, bro.
I don't think
if you could.
If I could, something like that. That's not gonna get messy and like I don't know, like fucking chocolate bar or something.
Nah. It has to be a food. It has to be a
like
meal.
A meal.
Like a meal.
I feel
all right,
like
fuck it.
That
I'm gonna go all
sounds
out.
so gross to me.
I'm gonna get a steak dinner. The knife and everything.
Yeah.
Bruh. You have to
tell
tell
her back. From the back, you're like cutting a steak.
It's like, wait, it's not ready yet. Like, let me cook it on the grill.
Bruh. That's funny.
What about you, Julie?
I don't know.
Something ice cream.
For me, it's Korean
Ice
barbecue,
cream?
dude. I'd have
What
all
the fuck?
I'd have all the little like
have
the
the grill on the
kimchi,
side?
the rice.
I'm
The
dead.
flame went off.
Little
Let me
meats,
like the little snap that they had to do.
everything.
I'm dead.
Dude. Cooking it up. What'd you do, Brandon?
Ah, shit, man.
Come on, you guys have to. Both of you guys.
I'll just eat pizza.
Okay, that's a
Pizza.
good one. You can't go wrong
Yeah,
with pizza.
sounds good.
I don't know. I feel like the steak dinner sounds good.
Yeah.
have some.
Fuck yeah, I told you, bro.
Have a baked potato on the side.
I'm dead.
Put it in between her boobs, you know, so it won't fall.
Exactly.
Dude,
I'm dead.
it's like you like mashed potatoes, like you start like smashing it, like
Turn them into mashed potatoes.
Interesting.
That's wild though. Have you actually do that though?
All right, I actually got an example. I'm about to play right now.
Really?
she's
I
surprised.
start watching it.
She's like,
I thought she was being for real.
Dude, isn't there a podcast that some like porn stars
No
have?
jumper?
oh yeah,
And then at the end they'll
They-
fuck their guests.
yeah. Adam 22.
Yeah.
I told you about it. I told you.
You told us.
Yeah. Wait, did I tell you
I
about
think
it?
it was you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I told
you.
Yeah.
Well, you talked about it on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been the episode you were on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they like interviewed them, and then at the last like 30 minutes, because I remember one time people brought up one of them was funny. One of them like they didn't even get like 4 minutes into the podcast. They immediately were like, "Fuck it, like let's just go into it." Because I guess they were just really like feeling
each
it.
other?
Yeah, they're really feeling it. They were like, "I can't even wait." Yeah,
No
I've never seen it. I've just
way.
seen the clips online. I swear. I
So-
swear. I swear.
Mm.
You're
I swear.
nice.
I just thought it was funny.
But where do they?
You were like research purposes. Like, I have no podcast.
Research. I know. I was like, I had to do homework.
Yeah.
Come on, like I wanted the
Where do they? But where do they like stream that?
OnlyFans.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it's like an OnlyFans, bro. Like, I don't know. I in a funny way, I can appreciate the innovation of that.
Mm-hmm.
I can appreciate.
Is the podcast part of the OnlyFans, or is it like you hear the podcast on Spotify and then you're like, all right, guys, hop
No,
over to
I think-
OnlyFans?
I
for
don't
the
know.
rest
I
of
don't know
us.
that much.
No, I think.
No, yeah,
I think
that's what I was
all
saying, yeah.
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can appreciate the innovation of that because I mean, like podcasts are, you need to stand out some way, right? So I mean, I guess
No,
best of both
literally,
worlds.
we were just talking about that, how like everyone's popping out with podcasts now. Like it's like becoming a big thing. Like TikTok is doing like TikTok podcasts now.
Really? I didn't even know that.
I'm just like, damn, like it felt like it was booming and it was dying out for a second, but I feel like it's starting
back
to
again?
like boom again.
There's one I heard about this guy who he commentates as if he's a baseball commentator in the 1950s, and he does it for 2 hours. It's for people to fall asleep to. So he's like, you know how in baseball is that boring like commentary that's like, and now bottom of the inning is it's like that. Like he does that the entire like 2 hours, just makes it up on the fly. And then there's another guy who just talks about wood, about the like the wood industry. And yeah, because I looked up like niche podcasts, and those were the ones that came out. It was like just this old man just talking about like wood, bro. And I was like, damn, I respect the grind. I mean, then we're in the same industry, so that's pretty cool. Dude, collab.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've seen people do podcasts outside. I've seen people do podcasts. Obviously, get fucked up. I see people smoke podcasts. Dude, there's a lot. There's literally a lot. I don't know.
I feel like they're starting to become just one for like anything now, right?
There's one for everything, bro. Niche. There's one for people who are really cool and like listening to cool people, like the IE Besties.
This is a perfect opportunity to be like, everything's cool.
Everything's cool. Watch everything's. There's another one. Everything's cool. Maybe the link's in the bio. I don't know if you guys fuck with us like that.
It's based in LA.
You said that it's not there. Like, well, look it up on your own. It'll be there. It'll be there. Yeah.
Have you guys been feeling like pressure to change it up, like to stand out, like? Now since there's so many podcasts like coming in the game, like I feel like personally like when Steph took a break, but we recently before she left we were talking about like what are some potential like changes that we can do, because I feel like it's becoming oversaturated, you know. And at one point, like, you know, you have to do something different to stand out.
No, yeah, I agree.
But we're thinking like,
we're
feeling that little bit of like, what can we do?
I agree. Yeah, I've been thinking about doing like different stuff. I want to do more like challenges and stuff. Like I think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
And then still talk about like topics. Like I pitched these guys. I told you about it too, the one chip challenge, and then just talk. I think even they did it, right?
They did it, yeah.
Let's do it right now, everyone.
You have it?
No, I don't have it.
We had some spicy gummies the other day when we filmed, and they weren't spicy, but they did taste spicy. But it was a doable spicy.
It's because we're Mexican. They're probably spicy for normal people. Yeah, probably spicy for normal people, but enough for us. G, you said you had brought something, right, that you wanted to talk about, or am I tripping?
Oh, I was talking about because last time we were talking about the honeymoon phase. Because I was telling Stevie, because I was like, I wanted him to explain to me what the honeymoon phase, because I feel like I personally never understood what that was.
You never went through it?
I know I've gone through it.
That's good though. If you didn't go through it, that means that your relationship is like good, because you don't feel like you fell out of something, if that makes sense.
No, but she was saying that she doesn't get what the honeymoon phase is.
I was telling him, one, that I didn't get what it is, and I guess when he explained it to me, I was kind of like, I feel like I've never been out of it.
That's what I'm saying. It's good.
Yeah, like
I think it's when you like, there's like all that dopamine from like being in love, like meeting them and like getting to know everything about them, and then after a couple of months, like when you feel like maybe you know everything, and then there's like you start fighting and you start like being willing to, I guess, expose the more unpleasant sides of yourself because you're comfortable. That's when like you're like out of the honeymoon phase, because you in the beginning you're putting up like your best front, right? Like I would hope that everyone's being honest and not like lying about who they were, because you can't maintain a lie, right?
Yeah.
But if we're talking about like two like normal people, I guess, that are like genuine and like real, you know, in the beginning it's easy to, you know, just be all like let things go, or like not want to fight, you know, just be all happy in love and everything. But then after a while you start, you know,
the novelty just wears off.
Yeah, you're just kind of like, okay, like I'm comfortable with this person. Now I'm down to fight them. Now I'm down to throw hands. Like, now I'm not gonna share my food with you.
Like now I'm down to roast you.
Now send me money for gas. You know, it's like the it's like the.
No, but I think that it's good that you've never been out of it. Because I coincidentally I saw this TikTok the other day about how like people say like, yeah, there's obviously like the part you can control about the honeymoon phase, where it's like, yeah, it's a new person, obviously you're like obsessed with them, and like it's a new love, and it's like it's new, you know. And people are like, yeah, obviously the newness is gonna wear off, but like people were saying, this person was saying that like that honeymoon phase of always being like infatuated with them, it doesn't have to end. Like it's like a choice. Like if you take the time to like actually cultivate that and like kind of choose that and just like decide like, oh, I'm not gonna get too comfortable, like I'm always gonna want to date you, like we constantly go on dates, because I think that's a part of like why the honeymoon phase wears off, because you kind of maybe stop going on dates because you're like, man, I know you, like what am I gonna talk about with you, you know?
Okay, but what if you're on a budget and you can't go on dates?
No, I just mean like I mean, I think you can get creative. You can have a picnic at the park, you can have a Lego day, you can
but is having dates all the time sustainable? Like all the time, like realistically speaking, like life gets in the way, where like
I think it depends on your definition of a date. Like I feel like for some people, like a date is like, no, take me to dinner, like we're gonna have a nice dinner, we have a nice
but it
day.
could be like a movie at home.
Yeah, a movie at home, or like a picnic at the park.
Or there's some people who are like, bro, let's just nap together.
Yeah.
We've been having like long work days, let's just take a nap or something.
I heard that when people like get out of the honeymoon stage, it's not because, or not the honeymoon stage, I guess it's a little segue, but you know how people, when they're like, they start saying like, oh, I'm bored in my relationship, like I'm bored, I feel like there's no excitement, like there's nothing, like there's not something necessarily wrong with their partners, but like there's no spark, right? Like there's nothing exciting, I guess, like in the beginning. And I don't know if you guys heard of Jay Shetty. He's like no, oh my god, that's crazy. Anyway, he does like a podcast about like just, he's like a life guru pretty much, and he's like, I love his advice, I love his podcast, you guys check it out, you guys would love it. And he was talking about how in reality what's going on is we externalize that, right? Like we think it's our partner's fault, like because the relationship is boring, but he was explaining what tends to happen in relationships is like you spend so much time with this person, right? Like because obviously like it's a new person, it's new, and you want to hang out and you just want to be together all the time. But what happens is that people like lose themselves in relationships, right? They stop hanging out with their friends, they stop doing their hobbies, they stop doing what makes them happy, and just kind of puts the happiness of this other person first, and kind of forgets that they're their own person. And what tends to happen is that you eventually learn everything about a person, but because you stop growing individually, like you stop doing your hobbies, you stop taking on new hobbies, you stop hanging out with your friends, you stop having your own independent life experiences apart from a person, you feel like there's nothing else to learn. But if you guys were willing to take the time apart and still treat yourself as your own individual person outside of just you in a relationship, you're growing a lot, you're gonna gain new experiences, new thoughts, new perspectives, and you could come back with your partner and have more to share, and so it won't feel like there's like a stop, because you're growing individually.
That's a good way to put it.
I
feel like you're becoming a new person constantly.
Yeah, so that's why, exactly. So it's necessary, to be your own person and keep growing individually, not just together as like a couple, because that will happen. And I was like, damn, when he said that, it made a lot of sense. Why do you guys think it's so hard to be away? People have a hard time like separating from like partners.
That's a good question. That's a really good question. Julie, go first.
Why do people have a hard time separating from the partner?
Yeah, like they want to be with their partners all the time. Like they stop hanging out with their friends. They stop.
Because I'm sure you guys have had friends who like they basically just like
they become their
disconnect from 100%. Their friends. Yep. Like my personality is my boyfriend.
I think it's just like maybe like the attention and the different emotions and like comfort that they bring to them that they probably didn't really like get from maybe their parents or something, that their partner's kind of fulfilling that part. And I think because they love kind of that side of them, they don't want to be away from it, because when they're away from it, they're usually with their parents that don't give them that emotion, right? And only their partner does. So they rather just cling to their partner because their partner does satisfy whatever that affection or emotion is. And I think that's why some people kind of separate that. And I'm not saying like friends don't do that, but it's different, a relationship is being with a partner is way different than whatever your friends can satisfy for you. And I think that's why some people probably have a harder time separating themselves from their partner, because they're just already so used to just the love and the attention from them. That's what I would think. I don't know.
It's like your partner almost becomes like a crutch for you sometimes. So it's like, I can't be without them because like, what am I without them?
Yeah.
Or like, oh yeah, that's interesting.
That's crazy. Well, because that's what I guess concerns me, is that when people do have that, where my partner basically becomes like this, it fulfills everything in me that is empty. if that relationship ends, and like obviously not wishing it on anybody, but if it does, then you're left like feeling as though you lost a lot of yourself for however long you were with that person. Like if you're with that person for like, let's say like 2, 3, 4 years, and like you were just them, you were all about them, then if things don't work out, like those 4 years were 4 years of like formative years that you could have used to, just get to know yourself. Because I'm a firm believer of that a relationship should be two individuals who come together.
Yeah.
It's not that two individuals who merge.
Yeah.
Just two individuals. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Just two individuals who work together, who are really like into each other. Because I think that's very healthy. I think you're right. Like, obviously a friend can't do the same things a romantic partner can, but there's things that a romantic partner can't do that a friend can.
do.
Yeah. And I think that's like super unhealthy to be just with one single person all the time.
But I think some people just don't know how to like, I guess, process that because of just the way that they kind of grew up. And I think it just goes back to like just the relationships that you have with like relatives.
Yeah.
Because I think
like how were you treated growing up? You know that
because a lot of your friends probably are also maybe like super different from like your parents, or they might have some similar traits from your parents, and that's why you kind of like cater to those friends.
That part.
So so that's what I'm saying. Like I think some people just can't, like there's some people who cling to that because that's all that they've got. Like some people don't receive love, and when they finally find it, that's what they want to cling to. Like and so then their partner is something that like it's a lot more intimate, like of course you can be intimate with your friends and just in a different way, but like with a partner, I think that's why a lot of people cling to that. And like for us or like for me, I can say the same thing. Like that's what I believe too, that you're two individuals that kind of come together. You guys don't merge, and like you'll grow the same habits as them at some point, but it's just like you're still yourself. And I think that's what makes the relationship healthy. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with like if you just want to be with your partner, because it's also like that's also like your life partner. Like if that's your
24/7? Like you think that's okay?
Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't harm anyone, like if it is harming you, where you just want to be by yourself, then and you think that satisfies you with just you and your partner, then I think like you're totally fine in that, because like you're not really harming anyone else. Like I don't know, I feel like there's no harm. You're not hurting anyone. Whether maybe you are hurting a little bit your friends, of like you don't want to hang out with them anymore.
But you don't think you're hurting yourself?
About what? About
like if you're with your partner 24/7? Because I think that's where I find it like a little, like I find a little bit of those problems. Because I just think that there's just so much value in just the significance of being very independent. Like not obviously independent in the sense of like fuck
like
my
pushing people away.
Yeah. But I mean like there's always some value in independence, because there's like your core self-esteem should always be healthy and strong. Because then that's how people, they give up their career and they give up like dreams because they feel as though they prioritize their partner. And obviously, like I said, like that's the love of your life, that might be your husband, but I feel like it's always important to check in with yourself, like because you're a mind, you're an individual.
But well, I was just gonna say, like I feel like if you want to be with your partner 24/7 and it's not, I guess, becoming like unhealthy, whether it's like you're losing yourself kind of thing, but I feel like if you want to be with him, then that's like what satisfies you.
I get what you mean too.
Like if that satisfies you and like that makes you
you're not
happy.
killing anyone by doing that.
I think what Julie's saying is like there are people like that who exist. Who are like who aren't hurting anybody. Who they're content, they're fulfilled, and they genuinely are telling the truth.
And they don't feel like bored or anything.
But I also think that like
there is
for the vast majority of people, that's not the case. Because in my opinion, I think it comes from that. I think that like when I think about romanticism, I feel like it's a very like, it's not very accurately displayed. Like I feel like a lot of people have very unrealistic expectations of what love is and what it looks like. Like I'm not saying it's bad to like go after that or to like have aspects of that in your life, but I think like even if you just think about the most cheesiest like things about love, a lot of it comes from like stories and books and movies and stuff like that.
That's unrealistic.
Or even like when you compare yourself to like your friends on social media or something like that. I think people with love, they just want to see the best parts. But I think there's aspects of love that like are a little like that just aren't accurately represented. Like sometimes part of love is like letting your partner go off and be on their own, you know? Or sometimes aspects of love is like having disagreements or like working out a fight or something like that, you know? I just think that with love, I think people want to make it all like it's
people,
just yeah.
I think in general people just want to feel good all the time. Like it's, and maybe it might even tie into like people not being able to emotionally regulate. So in a relationship, I feel like because relationships are probably so triggering, there's not like there's no emotional regulation, so it's like that constant need of just wanting to feel okay, like wanting everything to be okay, but it's not realistic.
I just think relationships are hard. Like they're hard. Like they're really difficult. But I think everybody is like, because you think about the soulmates, twin flames, you know, my life partner, all that stuff. The expectation of love is that it's supposed to be easy. Like we're supposed to want each other constantly all the time. We'll never fight. Like I always love you, all that stuff. But that's not true. That's not true. And if it does exist, like it's a unicorn. Like it's an anomaly. It's an anomaly. Like I'm not saying it hasn't happened. Like I'm sure it has. But I feel like a lot of people don't want to accept that it is hard. And when it does get hard, it's like, oh, then something must be wrong with this love. Then this isn't love. You know what I mean?
Or I have to let them go and find somebody else instead of like actually working through the situation.
And I think that's also how you rationalize toxic behavior, because you're like, no, this is the love of my life. Like this is my life partner. Like it's okay. Like we're gonna work it out. But really, it's like, bro, they've been cheating on you like every day. Like
that's not your life partner.
Well, it's also like I've also heard, especially when you like are in a toxic relationship and you get out of it and then you go into a healthy one and you don't have like those same habits of like you guys fighting or something, you think that they're boring because like there's no fighting or there's no like things going
the up
on.
And down of like the dynamic.
Dude, so then some people are like, my relationship's boring because like, but no, it's like it's just they're used to that, but in reality it's just like it's just a healthy relationship. And I feel like that's one of the also hard things about like I guess getting into a healthy relationship, because I could kind of say that for myself, where like I feel like my past relationships were a little toxic and I feel like my current relationship is a lot healthier. And I'm not saying that I was ever bored, but it was just always weird that like I felt like there was if I felt a certain type of emotion about a relationship, I felt weird about it. And I thought I was usually the toxic one because I was like, why am I feeling this emotion when he's like a good person to me? And I think I would question myself a lot, but it was just like me kind of realizing that like I have old habits that I didn't know that I had until I got into a healthy relationship. Like there was just traumas that I didn't know, and he would trigger them, and I didn't know that he was like triggering those traumas. Until I got into a healthy relationship, you know.
It reminds me of this quote that I heard that's like, being in a toxic environment will have you confusing peace for boredom. And I was like, that's so true. That's so real.
Well, I think it's interesting because I learned this recently, that someone was explaining to me that like sometimes when your brain is used to something really bad or really toxic, and you get met with the unfamiliarity of something that's healthy, your brain will try to go back to familiarity, even if the familiarity is bad and toxic. So like you're saying, like it can make it seem like, nah, something's wrong here. Like that's the familiar
this is
feeling.
Unsafe.
Yeah, this is weird. So I think that's interesting, you know?
And I feel
you
like
said that on our pod. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I feel like I realized that a little more when I felt like when I did have those moments, I feel like I wanted to talk about them, because before in my relationship I wouldn't communicate my feelings. Like I would like something, he would do something and I'd be like, okay, fuck it, like who cares, like I'll just move on from it. And then eventually now in my current relationship, when like certain things happen, I talk about them. And I remember I told him, I was like, I feel like I just genuinely really want to work things with you, and I know that like I've gone through a lot and I want to communicate, because before I never communicated like my feelings, or I never felt, I guess, safe enough to communicate those feelings. And like now I feel like that comfort and like that safe space that I can without like scaring him away, you know.
You know what else I read? And I love that for you, by the way, because I think it's hard to talk. That's one of the things that I feel like I myself, like I'm trying to be better at. Is like communicating. That's like, you need that. But I was watching this video and I was talking about how, do you guys, I don't know if you guys ever had this experience where you meet someone for the first time and you feel like you're in love with them already, like I don't know, like you literally feels like you've been struck with like Cupid, like, but like you're just like, damn, like,
yeah, for
maybe
sure.
you just had one conversation and you're just like, bro, like, I really fucking like this person, like, you know, maybe it happened when you're younger, like in high school, where you're just like, bro, like, I really like this person, like, you start fantasizing about them all the time, and then like, let's say you actually they feel the same way towards you, and then like you barely met them a week ago, and now you're like in a committed relationship, and you're just like all in love, like all infatuated. Maybe you guys didn't move that fast, but maybe you can just relate at like how fast you felt like you caught feelings for someone, and you're like, damn, like your brain literally will start telling you like this is my person, like so soon, very early on, and you haven't even met this person, like you don't really actually know them, like you can't know everything about a person in one day, let alone a week, or you know, like you, it takes time to really know a person. And yet in relationships, like it's very common when people meet, when they feel that they're just like, oh, like this is my person because I feel strongly. But this person was explaining that that she thinks, well, not thinks that when that happens, it's more like when you're saying about like childhood trauma, like when you're neglected as a kid and you feel like you probably you're not getting like attention or feelings or like of love, or like your parents or whoever's around you like didn't really extend like those good things to you. So when you finally meet someone as an adult that is like giving you some attention and like you have a good conversation, and you know, it's your brain is like automatically gonna be like, okay, like latch onto this person because this person is gonna be able to give you like what you need as what you needed as a child. But the crazy thing is like, yes, you can feel like a person is like you said filling that void, but in reality no one can do that for you. Like no one can fill that void. Like it'll always be temporary because you're not, as soon as that person starts acting out of character, right? Like let's say you have a fight, or let's say they disagree with you, or maybe you know they walk out on a fight, and you know you start gonna, you're gonna feel triggered, right? Like the abandonment wounds is gonna come, like the anger is gonna come, like all these feelings are gonna come of like that you used to feel as a kid when you felt like your parents weren't giving you that. And then there's like that struggle of force, right, of like getting your needs met, and like that back and forth. But it's like all crazy because you're doing it with a person that you just met and you don't really know, like they're, you don't know them like that. Your brain just tricks you to think that so that you can finally like feel those good feelings that you like lacked. But it's well, because when you think about it like that, it feels hard, right? Like for me, when I was listening to that video, I was like, that feels hard because when I met my ex, that's what happened to me. Like I literally like met him in person, and like instantly, like that whole night when we met, we didn't like stop talking for that night. We talked for hours, and like I immediately was telling my friend like he's gonna be my boyfriend. Like I felt that connection. To me at the time, I thought like this is my, you know, this is gonna be my everything, and it was literally the first night that I had ever met him. And so I was a little triggered when that lady was saying that in the video. I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Bitch? You don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Like, I know what I felt like. This is my man. Like,
yeah.
But in reality, looking at it now that the relationship is over, and you know we're together for 6 years, and I look back, that was 100% what was happened. Like I genuinely was just trying to have my needs met because I was so codependent on him. Like I needed him for my everything. Like I was that girlfriend that wanted to be with him like 24/7. Like I had no hobbies, no nothing. Like I just wanted, I didn't hang out with my friends. Like I wanted to be with him all the time. I would get so upset whenever he didn't want to hang out with me. Like I just didn't get it because I was like, babe, I want to be with you all the time. Like, why don't you feel like you want to be with me all the time? Like, I just felt so like, it's so crazy. Like, how and I would put the blame on him for everything, not taking accountability for like, you know, what was I not doing for myself? What did I need to do for myself to feel okay before I, you know, blamed him for everything, you know? Does that make, and I was just like, damn, it really got the ball rolling. So now when I think, I guess, I don't assume, like you said, Brandon, there probably are relationships out there where people can be together all the time and it's like a fantasy, like almost. And I don't doubt that there are very few. Yeah. And it's like couples out there like that. But when I do see people together all the time, I do start wondering, and I don't judge them. It's more like I'm observing and I'm like, I wonder what the dynamics are behind this relationship. Like, because I knew in mine, it definitely was, he was, he had an like avoidant attachment and I had like an anxious attachment. So the more I wanted to be with him, the more he felt like he wanted to run away because closeness felt unsafe to him. So he was like, okay, closeness is like a red flag, so I need to get away. But when he was, but deep down, he did want connection. He just didn't know how to make it feel healthy and safe. So when he would be away from me for a while, he would come back crying to me like, I don't want, like, don't leave me, like I want to be with you. And then we'd fall back into the dynamic of like, okay, we're okay. But then again, once he'd start feeling too close, he'd run away again. It was like he had unhealed shit. I had unhealed shit. Because to me, him coming back was like, oh, like I'm worthy. Like like it's like such like a toxic like dynamic. And I'm not saying it's like this for everyone. Obviously, everyone has different wounds. But when I see people that are together all the time, I'm like, damn, like I just wonder like what's going on. Like, and if I'm close to them, like I'll observe. I'll just kind of like eavesdrop on their conversations, or like if they have fights, I'm like, like what's going on here?
You're like taking notes.
I'm all like a therapist. But no, it's just crazy. It's why it's. I sometimes just sit and I think like, dude, like we're on a floating rock. We're human beings. We don't know like if we. Who knows like if God is real, right? Like I'm pretty sure there is like a higher power out there, but who knows if it's in the sense of like the way religions have taught
like the
it.
Christian
like
God,
we don't know what's really going on. Like, is it just energy, or are we all just like gonna like reincarnate? Like, there's so many like possibilities out there of like what the meaning of like life is or being here. And it's so even more crazy how like relationships are so complicated. Like everything is like complicated. Like it feels complicated to be a human being, to like get along with others. Like, and obviously we know that it's because if there's good, there has to be bad, so it's like it's just like the way of life. But sometimes I'm just sitting like I just stay still, like think about everything, and I'm like, bro, like I don't know, it's just wild.
But I mean,
bro.
when I have those thoughts, I guess like what calms me down is like the beauty of like the simplicity of a lot of things. Like you think we're talking about relationships, I'm like, yeah, like exactly that. Like billions of maybe planets out there, billions of stars out there, billions of years to have been spent. Yet here I am with someone special that I really like, and we're trying to make things work out. Yeah, and I think about the beauty of that. That relationships. Brandon, you're the one who really taught me this. It was like relationships are meant to be hard. If it was easy, then it wouldn't be as special. You're meant to struggle. You're meant, because that's the beauty of it. Because that's like you're fighting for your love. And I guess like when I have those thoughts, that's what I think about, the simplicity of like I was lucky enough to be born with somebody that I just like. And I guess that's the easiest way to like ease my existential crisis whenever I have those thoughts. And it's cool. Everything you're saying is pretty accurate, because I took like I said in college, I took philosophy of sex and love. Everything you're saying is pretty accurate to what we discussed. Yeah, about
be a professor.
Yeah, that has about one of the things we talked about is how a lot of people kind of look for similarities to their parents. So like what they felt like maybe their parents either lacked or did have. If they see it in their partner, then like they're gonna latch on and be like they're like nurturing me, or they're like reminiscing. Like this is nostalgic. This was my love, because the first love you ever have in your life is the love of the parents. Yeah, so that's the one that you have. And then especially when you're talking about the lady who was like, when I first about how people love at first sight, that's one of the things we talked about, is how it's idealization. It's more of the sense of you have these ideas of who this person is, and you hold them to that standard, but it becomes dangerous or toxic or whatever you want to call it when then the cracks start to show, because they fall so hard. And you could become incredibly disgusted with your partner, even though it's unfair to them, because you set those expectations for them. That's not who they actually were. Yeah. But you were just spitting. I just wanted to let you know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you were also saying that like the honeymoon phase. How long does it last?
Usually, it's on average. People say it's about a year to 2 years.
You're lying.
Yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Mine should last like 4 months.
We talked about him. Are you with my professor? Are you a scam?
That's a scam.
Yeah, they said like a year to 2 years. That once you, but it's not like a bad thing. Once you actually get past that, like around the 3 to 4 years to 5 years, that's when the true love actually starts. That's when like you don't see them as this idealization of like romanticism, this personification of everything you want. You see them as human, the same way you would see any other person. And in a weird way, that's even deeper love, because you love them despite their flaws, despite everything that's wrong with them. It was so incredible to listen to, because it just made you think about how how much empathy you could really offer your romantic partner, that when you first meet somebody that you're into, you don't offer them just because you want them in a weird way to be perfect. But in reality, everybody's flawed. Everybody has their issues that people need to come together to work towards, to have the relationship that they're actually wanting to have. But yeah,
but that's
really
why
cool.
that's why I was asking him all that, because I thought it was crazy, because I was like, I feel like since I've never been out of it, I don't get it, like how you can get out of that, like how you can get out of like
Yeah.
How long have you been with your man?
We've only been together for like a year, and we're about to make like 7 months, a year and 7 months or something.
Almost there, bro.
We're almost there, yeah.
Imagine.
Come back.
I come back.
We're gonna talk about it.
No, but that's what and it was funny. The only reason the conversation came up was because my boyfriend had sent me like a reel, and it said like
and she started an argument.
that moment when you get out of I started argument with him. Not just kidding. That moment, I think, when you get out of the honeymoon phase and you start annoying each other and you become best friends. That's what it said. You become best friends.
He's like waiting for this to happen.
No, and he sent it to me because he was like, because he was basically asking me like, are we out of it? And I was telling him, I was like, but I feel like we already act like this, and that's why I had asked him, because I was like, I don't get what the honeymoon phase is, and so then I was just like, because I already feel like we already act like in the video, it was a scene from, what is it, Napoleon Dynamite, where like
they slap each other.
They're slapping each other or something like that. And I was like, we already do that. Like sometimes we're like, we kind of annoy each other, but we don't really like annoy each other. Like he's usually like poking me or something, and like
maybe he really wants to annoy you.
I'm totally fine with it. Well, and it was funny because he did something too. No, the other day too, he was doing something, like basically he was like poking me or whatever, and he was just doing something, and then he just started laughing, and I was just like letting him do whatever he wants. And then he's like, I don't know how you put up with me. And I was like, bro, I don't mind anything. Like it's fine,
bro. She does love.
But that's why I'm like, but that's why I told him, I was like, it eventually ends. Like that should like get like.
That's actually sweet, man.
And so to me, I'm kind of like, I don't know if like I'm scared that it'll end, but it's just like, fuck, like that shit ends.
No,
like,
bro, it's when it becomes, in philosophy, or in the class that we were learning, it becomes deeper, bro.
But that's why when you said that, I eventually was like, I think that's crazy, because then it's just like, to me, it started just making me think about relationship, and I guess because I even told him, I was like, bro, I guess at this point I'm just more excited about whatever the next phase is at this point.
Yeah.
I think
cute.
what made you listening to you say that made me think about because that and what you said right now about how like getting through arguments is gonna like you become, what did you say, like you become stronger, or no?
Yeah, well, I mean, you just you work towards more of the relationship that you desire, because you see them as like who they actually are, flawed humans, and you're a flawed human,
and you can be like more empathetic towards them. Like, okay, see, I feel like there's a flip side to that. If you're a people pleaser, like if you're chronically like codependent, like a people pleaser, I feel like that was me, because even when I started seeing like the red flags and the years, I always thought to myself, like, I'm just very forgiving, like it isn't like he might have fucked up, but like I forgave him for that.
He loves me.
He like, yeah, like it's like, even though it wasn't okay, like I already expressed to him, because I would express to him like, hey, like that wasn't okay, but the problem was that he would keep doing it. Like it was years of no changed behavior, and just me like walking on eggshells, in a sense. Like I didn't want to make him mad, or I didn't want to like bring up hard conversation, so eventually I just kind of like stopped bringing things up, and like I just wouldn't. I was like people pleasing into like I wanted him to be comfortable, to be however he wanted to be, at the cost of like how it made me feel, like, you know, because I was afraid to lose him. I was afraid to like even if it was like bare minimum, like I didn't want to lose that. And I feel like that's what I'm like, damn dude, like is it being empathetic, or is it just I know it could be empathetic, but I feel like there's a fine line between like empathy and like letting people just walk all over you, and you just like not being willing to express your needs, and not just expressing them, but having boundaries where it's like, okay, like I love you, I do feel like I want to be with you, but if you can't respect this, if you can't if you're not capable of like providing me with this, like, because you know, you having needs, your partner also has needs, and you guys have to be able to not fulfill all your needs, because you know not one person can do that for you, but there has to be like an exchange, right? Like of, and if your partner is not able, like if your partner is only taking and you're just giving, like that's not sustainable. So it's like there's like a fine line between being empathetic and just being like, okay, I'm gonna just take like whatever I get and like it's fine, you know? And it's hard when you feel like you love a person and you're just like your brain really tricks you into thinking like this is love, like, you know, like I'm fighting for my relationship, like, you know, like but you're not, you know, like that's not what it is. And I feel like that was my realization when our like really like a year I think before our relationship ended. I was coming into that awareness of like, oh, like I'm not actually being empathetic. Like I thought I was like being like I'm actually like not loving myself, if that makes sense. I'm not taking care of myself. I'm not being a good person to myself. I'm just accepting like whatever crumbs I can get, like, you know, because I feel like that's all I'm worthy of. And it's crazy because I started seeing how that would tie into like my day-to-day life. Like I wouldn't brush my teeth every day. Like, and I know it sounds gross, but like I was just like in a state where I just wasn't taking care of myself. Like I wouldn't shower every day. Like I would be laying in bed all day avoiding my responsibilities. Like I was procrastinate so much. Like I would lag and just not do a lot of things that I know I needed to do. Like I wouldn't eat healthy. I wouldn't, even though I had bought all the groceries that I needed to eat healthy, I wouldn't cook healthy. I would just do whatever was like easy. Like it's like I wanted these things for myself, but I wasn't actually doing them for myself. And then I would go with my boyfriend and I'd be like, bro, like, love me, like, take care of me, like, make me feel good. But I wasn't doing that for myself, right? So that's when I started drawing the connections like, oh, like, it's not possible for me to, uh, I'm not actually, I'm accepting the bare minimum from him because I'm giving myself, like, the bare minimum, if that makes sense. And when I started drawing those connections, I was like, damn, like, I actually can let you go now because I realize like it's not about you, it's actually like about me. Like how am I gonna like fucking be like in a relationship like with you expecting you to like make me feel this way, like spend all this time with me. Like do I even fucking like myself, bitch? I don't know. Like I don't know if I fucking like myself. Like I don't know myself. Like I don't like it's tough, dude. Like but
before you love someone else,
dude,
love
it's you
love
have
yourself.
to, dude. Like you have to like yourself the most, you know, like I think before anything. And I feel like you can't do that if you can't even like be consistent with yourself. Like
Kendrick said it, bro. Kendrick said it.
Dude.
You can't help the world until you help yourself.
Period.
Yeah. Mic drop.
He's still alive, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, everybody's dying these days, bro. Do you guys just feel like that? Like, dude, I've been
Do I ever feel like everybody's just dying?
Like, bro, everyone's dying. Like, it's scary, dude. Like,
that's just life. It's a cycle. Dia de los Muertos, November.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. It's okay. I think life is just the beginning of something new. I mean, death is the beginning of something new. Life, my bad. Obviously,
you don't say, bro. You don't say.
Or like you gotta accept death so you can start living.
There you go.
Because I feel like I was low key for one moment scared of death. Do you guys ever feel like you're scared of death?
Not me personally.
Scared of death?
Yeah, like of dying.
No, I feel like I don't know.
No, I wish I was dead now.
No, I'm actually dead.
I don't know. No, there was an age. I don't know what age I was, but there was an age where I generally was like, I was doing something with like my life, and I feel like I was just very happy and in the moment, and I was like, bro, if I were to die like right now, I feel like I'm satisfied with the way I live life.
You were like 5.
I was like 5. No, it was like somewhere in my 20s. I think it was sometime after I graduated like college.
Oh, that's cool.
That I generally was doing something, and I remember being like, bro, if I were to die like right now, I feel like I'm pretty satisfied with like the way life went and like the way I'm living life. I think it was after I also got out of like my toxic relationship.
You're so real, bro.
Where I was just like, I think I really am enjoying life, and I always think about that because when I got out of it, because I feel like I've been able to experience a lot of life now because I wasn't in that relationship anymore, and like I always imagine, because I'm like, damn, my ass would have probably been married right now and like been having like kids and stuff because because of that. And I was like, and I think about just the different people that I've met, whether it's like now like my current boyfriend or like friends, and like especially the podcast. Like I'm like, I would have never done that if I was still in that relationship, because I would have been somewhere else, living somewhere else, doing a whole different life. And that's why I'm always like, I'm enjoying it now. And when I was single, I was doing everything that I could to just enjoy the single life before like I met somebody else. And I was enjoying the single life, and then my boyfriend just happened. I wasn't looking for him. It just happened.
I just like the appreciation. I think I've just gotten really good at the appreciation part, where like, at least for a few years now, I've bless you.
Excuse me.
No, you're good, bro. Bless you.
Oh my god, who did that?
I just gotten good at it. So I think I've lived every day appreciating that it might end at any minute, and so because of that, I feel good if anything were to ever happen. And I'd feel good about my family. Like, if something happened to me, don't worry. Like, I was chilling. I went out chilling.
Everything's cool.
Yeah, everything's cool.
What about you, Brendan?
What was the question? Am I afraid to die?
Yeah.
Yes and no. I feel like you're supposed to be afraid to die. Like, you're supposed to have a little bit of it. Like, I think
like
that,
survival instinct.
Well, yeah, that too. But I think that kind of like, maybe fear is not the right word, but it's like, I think you're supposed to have like a healthy, like, I don't want to die. Like, you just
that makes sense.
Well, like, I think it's because
I think it's survival instinct. No, like just to.
Well, because I think
keep yourself.
I think that informs your life a little. Like, I always say it, but I thought it was really eloquently said the way Neil deGrasse Tyson said it, where he was on an interview with, I think, Larry King, who passed away, and they were talking about dying, and Larry King, he was like, I'm really afraid of dying. And I think he actually did that, like, cryogenic freezing. You know what that is, right?
Oh, wow.
Where he froze himself in hopes of, like, in the future they'll be able to solve his death, because he said he was, like, terrified of dying. And so he asked the scientist, like, oh, you're obviously a man of science, you're not a man of God, like, are you afraid of dying? And he was like, no, because I feel like that informs my life. The knowledge that I'm gonna die means that I'm on borrowed time. Like, I might not have tomorrow, so I better tell the people I care about that I love them today. Like, you know what I mean? Because he was saying, like, if you live forever, then why even get out of bed in the morning? Because you always have tomorrow. But he's like, true. I know I might not have tomorrow. So it gives me focus. It gives me like, no, I got to do this. I got to achieve this. I got to live my life to the fullest. So I think, yeah, of course I'm afraid to die. I think everybody is. I feel like if you're like, no, I'm not afraid to die, like you're lying. Like everybody is to some degree.
I've called y'all liars.
But I think what they more mean is like, there's not like this unhealthy, like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die. Because I think that's unhealthy, you know. But I feel like, but I feel like I think you do need a little bit of like, all right, I don't want to like die tomorrow, but like one day, yeah, sure.
I'm mostly
one day, sure.
Yeah.
I am scared of like how I'm gonna die though. Like, I'm more scared of that. I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna
I'm actually not scared of like what's gonna happen afterwards. It's of feeling pain, dude.
The process.
Like, would you guys, if you guys only had two choices between dying like in a fire or dying in like drowning, which one would you pick?
I'd go drowning.
Damn. Yeah, I'd drown.
Fuck it, fire. You guys should drown. I'll fucking go fire. I'm built different. I really am. Yeah.
It just wants to be
different. It'll be awesome. For a second, I'll be like made out of fire.
Okay, what about getting eaten by a shark or fire?
What the fuck?
I'm gonna go
like,
shark.
Yeah, right. Like,
I
you
feel
at
like
least
that
get
sounds cool.
Yeah,
like,
right.
That guy got eaten by a fucking shark.
You could have fucking fought it.
That's cool.
Maybe I got like a good claw in his eye.
It's because I'm still alive in like both of them for like a bit.
I guess for me, the fire one is just really brutal because it just sounds so like, ugh. Like,
I think it's like your nerves get burned off though. So
yeah,
you don't feel
but I feel like it's just like it's really intense pain. I feel like I'd rather not. But I feel like if a shark.
But then you get ripped off from like.
But I feel like I'd bleed out and I'd be like, this is at least this was kind of cool. Like, you know. Like,
I'm a masochist, so it doesn't matter. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, what?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Masochist is like people who get like they're into pain, like they like being like. I'm just kidding. I'm not a masochist, but
sure.
Oh
my.
Well, you know, they say giving birth is higher than being burned alive. Like the pain of giving birth is higher.
You're lying.
No, I'm being dead.
There's no way.
So you can.
There's no way.
Pull up the fact sheet right now, because
the studies.
I'm dead.
So,
for real? I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, right? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got it then.
Then I'm gonna go by fire then. The fuck.
There you go. High five.
That made me feel better about it now.
So you and Julie would
I'll
do
do fire.
I'll do fire.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
like, she could give birth, like, I'm good.
You still wouldn't do fire?
No, fuck no. Well, because I think it's even true that women have a higher pain tolerance than men.
Is that true?
That.
Yeah.
I can see
Let's
that.
test it out right now.
I think I've heard of that too.
Pain battle right now, boys.
You said you want to stand out. Let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Oh my god.
Is that true? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I
mean,
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
we have
period cramps.
Yeah, you guys menstruate,
birth.
so like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems
I guess
like
that makes sense.
Like that's guaranteed pain in our lifetime that you guys don't have.
That is. I never even thought of that.
Yeah.
Imagine, bro. Imagine when we were 5 years old. Telling us like every single month, you're gonna feel pain.
Yeah. For some people, it's unbearable, right?
Yeah.
Like it's unbelievably unbearable.
Mami, stay safe. I do know that song. Let me not go.
Couldn't be me.
No, dude, I already have given birth, and that dish fucking suck.
It did.
Are you guys scared of menopause?
No, I'm actually looking forward to it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't want to have my period anymore.
Bruh, I was just thinking about that today. Because, okay, so just a little, I guess, TMI, I did just start my period today. And, bruh, I fucking dread my life when I have my period. Like, today I've just been so irritated. But it's because, like, now, a lot more recently, like, when I'm leading up to the days that I get my period, I already start feeling, like, the emotions. So I start feeling sad. So I like just want to cry about everything. And then today when I was getting ready, I legit was like, bro, I just want to break down and cry right now. I don't want to like do anything because like I get cramps and stuff. Like it happens before I get my period that I start getting cramps. And that's when I'm like, fuck, like I'm going to get it like in probably like 2 or 3 days. And I did. I got it today. And then and I just hate it. I hate life so much. And so then today when I was getting ready to, I was like, bro, I have to live with this for like until like I'm at least like 50 or something.
30 more years.
And I'm like, bro, I have to wait for like menopause. And you could still like get your period, I think, or something like that. I think you go through like pre-menopause and then you go through menopause, and then menopause is also like you get like hot flashes. Like you just start getting like hot flashes because of menopause and stuff. So like we're always suffering a little bit,
bro. But when guys get colds,
that's true,
dude.
They get what?
When we get colds,
when a guy
bro,
gets sick,
when a guy gets sick, you guys wouldn't imagine, bro.
Colds?
Yes,
like
yes, bro. Yes.
Like that's
am I
bad
right?
for you?
Nothing.
I'm just kidding.
Nothing can compare.
Nothing compares to when a guy has a
I don't know,
ache.
bro. Yeah.
A tummy ache.
Yeah.
A tummy ache.
Yeah, that shit.
No, but that is so true. I swear, like the boyfriends that I've had, every time they're sick, they act like they're dying. Like
y'all turn into babies.
So dumb. Like,
because they don't get it. They don't get it. Yeah.
What am I supposed
Maybe you'll be
to
reincarnated as a boy and understand.
maybe we were already a boy.
I wish I was a boy. I wish I didn't have a period, bro.
Dude, I was reading. No, I didn't read this book. I'm lying. I saw a TikTok of a person that read the book.
Yeah, it's okay. We would have kept up the lie.
We
We would have believed you.
And she was saying how it was like a book about I forgot what the person's called, but he puts people in like a deep sleep, like meditative, like access like their subconscious.
Like
yeah, and he like wrote a book on people over like thousands of people that he's worked with over the 30 years of his career, and how when he puts the people like in this deep state, they talk about like their past lives, and how he's able to tell when a person is like a new soul here on earth or when they're like really old and like have gone through many lives, and like they're wiser based off like the responses that they give when he asks them questions about what they're seeing when they're in that state. And he was saying that he's learned that there's people that literally will spend like, he said there's this one lady that has lived practically like 30,000 years reincarnating because she has not been able to learn the lesson of resentment. Like she has not been able to overcome resentment in her life, and every time she has a lifetime, like it overcomes, like her resentment is so strong, like she loses like relationships and like friendships, and like she lives a very lonely life because of resentment in her life. Obviously, to overcome those kinds of emotions, you're gonna face them because you need to face them to have an opportunity to choose to let it go, right? To process it. So you're gonna be met with a lot of instances where you build resentment in order to let it go. And she has been like reincarnating for thousands of years because she can't overcome that. But through those years, she has been able to overcome, like she has been able to gain like compassion, right? Like other things. but people will literally reincarnate so many lifetimes because they're not able to learn like these like crucial lessons. And he was saying like this other person had been reincarnating for like 860 years because they couldn't like let go of shame was like a big thing in his life. Like every lifetime it's like he's presented with a lot like of deep shame. And I was just like shook because he was saying in the book like if you want to know what lessons you need to learn, like look at what problems yeah, look at what problems you have in your life, like repetitive, like on the like that happen a lot, that bring up certain emotions that are repetitive, and why are they coming up, and those are like practically like the lessons that you need to learn to like so you won't have to keep reincarnating and like coming back to learn that specific lesson. I just thought that was insane that people will literally like don't like it's insane to me that people can be unaware and people can be aware. Like have you ever heard
you believe in reincarnation?
If it just there just seems to be like a lot of evidence that points that it's real. You know, it just kind of feels like, dude, like how can it not be real?
I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I agree. Yeah, I don't.
Why do you think?
I guess like to me, I feel like reincarnation is such a like a rationality for people who are afraid of death. Like I just think that like it's just one of the, what I like to believe that the universe is more complicated than the human brain can even imagine. And reincarnation is such an easy thing to understand in certain ways, where it's like you die and then you're reborn. I feel like that's too easy for me. Like it's like how you have the aliens thing about how like to me it's like whatever happens when you die. I do believe something happens, but whatever happens, I just don't think we can come up with the explanation for it yet.
So
I
what
just
do you
don't think
think
we're
like
there.
this doctor that has spent like 30,000, like not 30,000 years, like years, like in this work? What do you think he's all these people, right, that are being put in hypnosis state? Where do you think all this information comes from then?
I think that it's people who are looking for some kind of like rationale for whatever they're suffering with. Like if it's like a woman who, like you said, is suffers with resentment, I think like she's listening to things that are, you know how people talk about astrology and stuff. I just think that it's like very easy to make. It's a comforting thought to know that like your past lives were just like you, so you're not alone, and you can like dominate and overcome these problems in your initial life. I think because I mean I don't want to disrespect people's beliefs, but just to me it like I don't think that's enough for me to make that jump to conclusion that reincarnation is real.
Yeah.
Because I think it's word of mouth. To me, evidence is like they'll literally have to pull up like something and
like
show
the
me
video
that.
of the past
Yeah,
life.
yeah.
Show
Like
me the video.
I need something more than just like this is what I feel when I look
Yeah.
at you.
Yeah.
Because I mean, so many people say that who believe in different things. Christianity, Hinduism, like wow, I can only name two religions.
That's
But
crazy.
but like a bunch of there's thousands of religions on earth, millions probably in our history
But
who have all
what
said
about
that.
like the fact that he's interviewed like so many people, right? Like thousands of people, and they all say extremely similar things, and they all say like different, like people like literally like. Do you think people are capable of coming up with all these details and examples of past lives, like so many though, and then to say like that's a lie, like that's not.
It's not.
True?
I guess for me, it's more like Steve said. I feel like if you believe what you believe, like I can respect that. But I feel like for me, I think that the human brain is extremely powerful. Like I remember watching this like documentary about how like you can implant memories. Like I think that's like a big thing with like
Oh yeah,
with
I've seen that.
interrogation of kids. Like I think that happens in like criminal cases where the like cops will be like, "Oh, but this guy hurt you, right? This guy hurt you, right?" And the kid will be like, "No, no," but they'll keep saying it, so the kid will kind of be like,
Yeah.
"Actually, yeah, he did. Like I do remember that." You know, and I think that happens to like a lot of people. Like there's that meme that goes around when it's like when your homie's like, "Yo, remember that time?" and then someone else agrees to like a complete lie. It's like I feel like you can implant a lot. I feel like if you want to believe something, you'll believe something. If you want to see a ghost, you'll see a ghost type thing. You know?
If you want to see an alien, you'll see an alien.
Yeah, that's my personal opinion, but I feel like there's something about every religion. There's some increment of it, like maybe 1%, 0.5%, 10%, whatever it is. I feel like there is something in there that I don't want to say true, more just like it tickles, it has value, or it tickles a part of your brain that I think is important. So like I feel like for like reincarnation, for me it's more like what I extrapolate from it is people get this sense of like it's gonna be okay. Like I have as many chances as I want to get things right, you know. And I think that.
Dude, and damn it, for me, it's the opposite. For me, it's like, hell no, I need to get it right because I don't want to fucking come back here.
Yeah, but like, you know, or maybe like it's like a motivation, you know, or like if it's Christianity, it's
purpose.
Like, yeah, you know. So I don't know. I think it's complicated, but that's for me.
Because I don't want to disrespect people's beliefs. Obviously,
people watching mediums watching this, like freaking Vanessa's watching this, like
obviously new souls, they don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna be here for another 40,000 years.
Oh my god. Yeah, you were spitting, bro. I just like.
I see that perspective too.
Like, it just offers something to people where I can just see people latching onto it, where they just want to believe it. So of course it feels very true when they're told like you've been around for 30,000 years, and I'm like, I knew it.
But the hypnotist doesn't tell them that.
Yeah.
It's they themselves are when they're put under, they start just talking about it. So it's like he's not putting ideas, he's not telling them, he's not like reading their palms or anything, like, you know, they themselves when they're under, they start just talking about things that they're seeing in their subconscious. So it's not like and the doctor's just like analyzing it. He's not.
Yeah. But I guess for me, the way I really do think the human brain is extremely powerful. And I feel like, in my opinion, I think a lot of people know deep down what their issues are. It's just a matter of like beginning to like accept them. So like, let's say that girl, what was it that she had to struggle with? Was resentment? Yeah. I feel like if you struggle with resentment and you're an adult, yeah, I'm not saying there aren't people who genuinely don't know. Yeah, of course there are people who don't know. But I think, at least in my experience, when I have problems, deep down I'll be like, yeah, I feel like I always kind of knew, I just didn't want to admit it to myself, you know. And so for me,
like an extreme narcissist.
Yeah, so I feel like maybe in that case it's more like maybe deep down she knew like, man, I'm a resentful person, and like maybe this story is the only way it's palatable for her brain
to like allow me
to allow her to accept it, because like that kind of shit is deep, you know. It hurts people, you know. So maybe it's that, but I don't know. I will say this, I'm just a natural skeptic. But I feel like faith is important. Not necessarily believe. Like, I don't mean like you need to have religion, but I think faith, like actual faith, like faith that things are gonna be okay, or faith that things are gonna work out, or
faith that everything's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything's cool. So go check out their podcast.
Thank you.
It's called Everything's Cool.
But I feel like that's important, you know. So that's why when people, I think, are religious or spiritual, I'm not ever saying that to be like, nah, you're completely tripping. Because I do think there's an aspect of that is important. And I think that people do need it. You know?
Says the ghost.
Yeah. Says the, that's not funny? And ironic irony. The script God, bro. See what he's doing?
It's the devil. He's working hard. He doesn't want us to know the truth. He's over here trying to sway us from the truth. Whatever. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I think we'll end on that note. I really appreciate you guys coming.
Thank you for inviting us.
I think more than anything, you guys like are my friends, and I love seeing you guys, and I love hanging out with you guys. I was telling I forgot who I was telling the other day, like, that I was sad that you guys live so far from me, because it's not even that far. It's like 1 hour exactly. But for me, you know, that like I hate driving and like just it feels far, right? It's not like my friends here that are like 15 minutes, you know. It's just easy. Every day I could bug them, you know. But I was telling them, I feel like even though it's like bittersweet to me, because even though there's sometimes I'm like, damn, I wish they were closer. At the same time, I feel like because you guys are so far, like when I do see you guys, I feel like I feel more appreciative of like being around you guys. I feel more like more present, as opposed to like when I'm with my friends that I kick it with all the time. Like we could be kicking it like on my phone, like you know, because there's like that. There's no longer that
spark.
Yeah, literally, it kind of feels like that. If it honestly, because it's like we've been and also you guys are new friends, so there's that too. But it's like there's just kind of like the sense of like deeper appreciation that I don't really feel with all my friends watching this. Like, no, not like you know what I mean? It's just like when you don't see someone often, definitely when you see them, it's like such like a nice feeling. So
can I say something?
Yeah.
Before we end off, I just want to give a thank you to you, Vanessa, because the first time that we went on your show, we were like struggling. We were really struggling to just like get like 20 views, dude, and like you offered us so much like sincerity, so much warmth, so much like friendship, and from then right now we're doing really good. We're doing, you know, we're still going up, and I wanted to thank you because I feel like you took a chance on us when you really didn't need to be as nice as you are, and I think I agree with that sentiment of like something just feels really natural. And I just wanted to give like a big shout out to you, like a thank you. Everybody watching, she's like really, really cool, like behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm holding a gun in his hand. Like,
there's like right here on the bottom.
Like,
Yeah, I just want to give you a shout out, dude. I just want to give you a shout out because seriously, like we really appreciate you for everything you've done for us.
Yeah. I also want to. I'm also like, I want to give you your flowers because like you've been doing a lot, especially for the besties, and it's really cool that you've always like had us here, and it's really cool that the connections that we've had now, because we were just talking about it. The last time we were here was the Halloween episode, so that's really dope.
No, I feel like I always feel extreme gratitude for you because I feel like the bigger we get or any success we have, I feel like we owe all to you.
Really?
Because, sincerely, yeah, because I feel like the bigger we get, the more I realize how you really didn't have to do that for us. Like when we showed up here, we like weren't even on YouTube. We had like we had like clips. We didn't have clips. We didn't even have like 100 followers on Instagram. And now everything we have is in some degree applied from something you have taught us or Saul has taught us. And so I'm always extremely grateful for you because you're genuinely one of the sweetest, kindest people I've ever met. And I feel like you genuinely didn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
And it really does mean a lot to me and all of us that you were like that to us. So yeah, I feel nothing but gratitude towards you.
We just want to give you your flowers.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I mean, so I honestly, I'm actually like shook that you guys say that because to me, like, I don't think when I like met you guys, I told you guys like I like you guys. Like I wanted to be your friend. Like I wasn't thinking like, oh, come on the pod. Even though obviously there was that opportunity, obviously to be on each other's pods. To me, it was just like, oh, like I really like the vibe of these people. Like I love what they said when I met you guys, and something in my brain was just like, there's something about these people that I feel really attracted to. Like I want to be their friend, so I'm just gonna follow that. Like I'm gonna shoot my shot and be like, hey, like let's be friends, you know. And like that's just, and you know, and here we are. And honestly, to me, like your growth and your success to me I've always felt like, dude, like you guys had it. Like I saw it since like day one. So to me, like that you guys say that you feel like in some degree like I influence like any little part of it. Like to me, it's like I'm saying, to me, it's like, dude, like you guys literally have been stars from like the moment that like, I met you guys. Like I loved you guys. So I was like, dude, like
see, but that's why I appreciate that because like you saw something in us that I guess we kind of hadn't seen yet.
Yeah,
so it's really dope.
It's all love here.
Love that.
Besties.
Literally the IE and besties. The IE and
besties
homies
for life.
Let me cut it off before I cry. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for joining me, and also thank you, besties, for watching this episode. If you saw it all the way through, please like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, or just anyone that you feel like might need to hear anything that we talked about today. And if you had a favorite part about this video, comment what was it. I'll be responding to comments. I need to get better at that. But thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for joining me. I love y'all.
Thank you so much for having us.
Bye,
thank you for having us.
Bye.
Bye.